Good morning, I'm Fred Khalil with Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. One of the keys to long-term success in sports is keeping your young talent on your side, and that's exactly what the Diamondbacks have done. Monday, the team agreed to terms with shortstop Geraldo Perdomo on a 4-year deal worth $45 million. According to multiple reports, the D-backs have a club option for a 5th year. The switch-hitting shortstop hit .273 with 21 doubles. He's only 25, and the move by the D-backs should keep the club in contention for a championship run. They've locked up a core group that includes Corbin Burns, Zach Gallen, and Ketel Marte, and now Perdomo. A season that began with high hopes has become one of disappointment for ASU, as the Sun Devils, now 12-13 and 3-11 in the Big 12, play host to number 5 Houston tonight. The Cougars are 21-4 and lead the nation in scoring defense, while the Devils, according to Coach Bobby Hurley, have reached a premium frustration level. They're on a 5-game losing streak. You can hear tonight's Houston ASU game here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the app with Tim Healy on the call at 7 o'clock. And Houston did beat Arizona Saturday, but last night U of A handled Baylor 74-67. The Cats, which had fallen 8 spots in the national rankings to 19, are now 18-8 overall, 12-3 in the Big 12. The Suns are off until Thursday when they play the Spurs in San Antonio, and Team USA Hockey will face Canada in the championship game of the Four Nations Faceoff. The U.S. beat Canada in Montreal Saturday, and Thursday's matchup is in Boston. This report is brought to you by APS. Visit APS Solutions for Business for ways to help your business make smarter use of energy while saving money. Schedule a free consultation today.
Good morning. Time to get up and go to work.
The power-packed morning zoo. Are you kidding me?
Fire! It's the greatest radio show ever. Good morning and welcome.
Dan Bickley.
Oh my God, he's from Chicago. That's amazing.
Vince Marotta.
How are you, Vinny? Who's better than Vinny?
And Jerry Carlin.
It can only be champion.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Bickley and Marotta mornings. Time to go to work. Time to go to work.
Shout out to Dan Bickley, my boy. Him and Vince. Okay.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday, Valley sports fans. Wake up, everybody. A very special week on tap for you. Starting today, it is Newsmakers Week. Woohoo!
Newsmakers Week 2025.
Yeah. Prepare to be newsified.
Is that what we're going with?
I don't know.
It works for me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of newsification going on today.
Yeah.
6 guests on day 1 of Newsmakers.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Before we get started, I want to share something trippy that happened to me yesterday. So Sarah Spain, an ESPN media personality, columnist, right? Fairly prominent.
Not with ESPN anymore, but yeah.
That's right. She's not, is she? But she was on a bunch of the Talking Head shows.
Okay, yeah. So whatever. So she's a prominent media personality, if you will.
Yes.
So over the weekend, she posted a picture of a newspaper. And in this newspaper, it's the Waukegan News-Sun. And in this newspaper, there's a photo of her playing high school basketball right above a photo of Michael Jordan playing for the Bulls. So she pointed this out on social media and said, my parents found this and gave this to me, and I have got to get this framed. Right to the left of the pictures was my farewell column to the city of Chicago.
There it is, right there. I'm looking at it.
People send us that picture on social media. I was wondering why that was circulating.
Yeah. So at that point in time, I had moved from the Chicago Sun-Times to the Copley News Service because I wanted to be a columnist, and I was actually a syndicated columnist. Mm-hmm. Copley had chains in San Diego, all over Illinois, and so in the Waukegan News-Sun, there you go. Sarah Spain, Michael Jordan, Dan Bickley's farewell column.
The
to
big
the city
three.
Of Chicago.
That is a big 3. I'm trying to zoom in to read the column, but I can't.
Well,
I can't
let me tell you something
enough.
else about that too. And when you zoom in, the last thing you'll see on that is something my mom said to me as I was getting ready to leave, and I want to know what she said because I don't remember because she tragically died about 1.5 years after that, and I really want to know what she said to me. I've got to find that paper now. Because I'm quoting my mom, and now I want, and after my mom's death, it was such a traumatic thing that I have no recall of that.
I think I still might have my newspaper.com account.
There you go. Find it for
money
me, Money
well spent.
Yeah.
I just find old Bickley columns.
I will miss the weather. I will not miss Albert Bell.
That's one of your lines. There you go.
Making friends in Chicago, making friends in Arizona.
Yeah, right? So there you go. That was kind of weird.
That's crazy.
Trippy, right?
Yeah, very, very trippy.
Yeah. All right. We got a big week on tap. Let's have some fun. Get it started, Jared.
The Splash. The stories making waves in the sports world. The Splash.
Cannonball coming.
The Splash, brought to you by Presidential Pools, Arizona's #1 pool builder. See why at presidentialpools.com.
The D-backs kicked off full squad spring workouts at Salt River Fields yesterday as they get ready for their Cactus League opener Friday against the Colorado Rockies. There was big D-backs news on Monday. Shortstop Geraldo Perdomo signed a 4-year, $45 million extension. That contract starts next season, keeps Perdomo under team control through the 2030 season. He was a National League All-Star in 2023. Limited to just 98 games due to injury last season, but did manage a career-high 273 batting average and a 718 OPS. Happy for Geraldo Perdomo. He's kind of to use the old Reggie Jackson vernacular, he's kind of the straw that stirs the drink for the Diamondbacks.
I think he's one of the more underrated foundational pieces they have.
Yes, and now he's under control, so they're getting a lot of these guys locked up contractually. D-backs also made their signing of reliever Kendall Graveman official, 1-year deal, mutual option for 2026. The 34-year-old right-hander did not pitch in 2024 due to a right shoulder injury, but from 2021 through 2023, posted a 2.74 ERA and 187 and a third bullpen inning. So, interesting signing there. We're getting close to seeing actual baseball Friday.
Getting here quick.
Yes.
Whatever happened to the 2.5, 3 weeks baseball players used to get to slow roll their way into the Cactus League? Oh, I know.
They can't
money.
They can't monetize practice,
right?
Big.
Exactly.
NBA getting back to normal after All-Star Weekend in San Francisco. The game, of course, won by Shaq's OGs over Charles Barkley's Global Stars, 41-25 in the first ever All-Star tournament. Suns forward Kevin Durant was a member of the winning squad but did not score a point in 6 minutes and 2 seconds of playing time in the title game. The league gets back underway tomorrow night. Lakers hosting the Charlotte Hornets, and then a full slate of games on Thursday, including the Suns starting a 4-game road trip in San Antonio against the Spurs. College basketball. Arizona went on the road, knocked off Baylor 74-67. Tobe Awaka had 14 points, 12 rebounds to lead a balanced Wildcats attack. Henry Vasar and Caleb Love each had 13 for the Cats, which that moved to 18-8 on the season, 12-3 in Big 12 play. They will host BYU in Tucson on Saturday. The Arizona State Sun Devils are in action tonight, hosting the 5th-ranked Houston Cougars at Desert Financial Arena. Devils trying to snap a 6-game home losing streak, which was extended Saturday night with a hard-fought 74-70 defeat at the hands of TCU. It's always hard-fought, but they're never on the right side of it. Tonight's game gets underway at 7. You can hear it on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app, beginning with pregame coverage at 6:30. Speaking of ASU, we'll be joined by both Bobby Hurley, the men's basketball coach, for his weekly visit, and Graham Rossini, the athletic director, will join us at 7:45 as part of Newsmakers Week. The new AP Top 25 was released on Monday. Auburn stays at number 1 after a convincing victory over then number 2 Alabama on Saturday. Florida is second, followed by Duke, Alabama, and Houston, who's in town tonight. Other Big 12 teams that are ranked 8th, Iowa State is 8th, Texas Tech 9th, Arizona, which fell 6 spots to 19th. After back-to-back losses to Kansas State and Houston before getting back in the win column last night, and Kansas comes in at number 23. And the final round-robin games at the Four Nations Faceoff took place yesterday. The Team USA got a goal from Chris Kreider 35 seconds into the game, but couldn't muster any more offense. 2-1 loss to Sweden at TD Garden in Boston. The Americans had already clinched a spot in the championship game Thursday, when they will get a rematch against Canada. They beat Finland 5-3. The Canadians did, by the way. U.S. played without Matthew Tkachuk and Austin Matthews and lost Brady Tkachuk to injury during the game. So there's not a whole lot of tiptoeing through this little break in the NHL schedule for hockey players. Kind of refreshing, isn't it?
Well, very much so. Very much so. And listen, and the NHL and this tournament that they've uncorked, it clearly captivated the sports world over the weekend. Everybody was saying the same thing, and that was everybody on Sunday morning couldn't run into people who didn't want to talk about what they had just witnessed. 3 fights in 9 seconds, the heat between USA and Canada. the geopolitical implications of it all. It's an unbelievable story. We're going to get into it today.
Yeah, unless your favorite player just got injured in a quote-unquote all-star type game.
And then there's the fact that the Kachuk boys are at the front of it, and people who covered Keith Kachuk back in the day. He was a badass. It's just it's a very, very tantalizing story.
It really is. It was highly entertaining.
Yes, it was.
Coming up next, that's your splash, by the way, for Tuesday, February 18th. Coming up, new year, new format. Same problems for the NBA All-Star Game. We'll dive into those problems next. Bickley and Murata Mornings. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2.
It sounds like there might be a little bit of a revelation from Jordan Montgomery here. And if he really did get to work and worked hard, this is a guy, once again, whose track record is pretty solid.
Well, yeah, last year was such an outlier. On the one hand, it is so unlike the rest of his career that it would be easy to just write it off. But on the other hand, it is his most recent season.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here. Not all purchases are the same, and you should have high standards when buying a car. You should want a great brand, a great experience, a fair price, and a vehicle you cannot wait to drive. That is what you're going to get from my friends at Chapman BMW and a whole lot more. Chapman BMW, your premier destination for luxury and performance. They've got 2 great locations, which means you're going to get the best selection you're going to find in the Valley, no matter what you're looking for. High-end inventory, brand new BMWs, certified pre-owned BMWs, high-quality used cars. Whatever you're looking for, you're going to find it at Chapman BMW. Chapman BMW, an award-winning, family-owned business since 1966. That's a rarity in today's corporate automotive world, and everything they do, from Ted Chapman all the way down, first-class elite. You'll feel it the minute you walk into either of those locations. Best of all, listeners of this radio station, you get the extra hookup. So go take a test drive, find what you like, then ask for my guy, Shane O'Hanrahan, GM of both locations, super cool dude, personal friend of mine. He is going to hook you up. You can always shop online at ChapmanBMW.com. That's Chapman BMW. 2 great locations, 1 great experience.
Watch all D-backs games both live and on demand with the D-backs TV subscription. Start your 7-day free trial today by registering at D-backs TV. Visit dbacks.com/watch to learn more.
Lose weight easier and faster with Red Mountain Weight Loss. Discover the power of semaglutide and tirzepatide, the breakthrough GLP-1 medications that are transforming lives. You lose up to 15 pounds a month without feeling hungry or deprived. And for a limited time only, save $100 on any GLP program and get our lowest prices of the year. Don't wait. Lose up to 15 pounds by this time next month only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Go to redmountainweightloss.com.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Whatever you love, find it on eBay. eBay. Things people love.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
As we approach this International Women's Day, we proudly honor the incredible contributions of women, shaping the future in our communities, at home, and right here at Morris Hall.
Andrea Klaus, attorney and managing partner of Morris Hall, a premier Arizona estate planning law firm.
Helping families secure their legacies with thoughtful estate planning is our purpose. At Morris Hall, we are proud of the women on our team who bring experience, strength, and compassion to every client interaction. We recognize and celebrate the exceptional perspectives women bring to the table while valuing the collaborative effort of everyone on our team. On behalf of all of us at Morris Hall, I invite you to meet with us for a complimentary estate planning consultation. Together, we can help protect what matters most to you and your family.
For your complimentary consultation, please visit morrishall.com. That's morrishall.com. Morris Hall, celebrating women's leadership and building strong legacies.
We all could use more time. Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions, so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. I can see why they call it smart. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Fight. Hey, it's Wolf. The NBA debuted its new All-Star Game format over the weekend. We will be reacting to the new mini tournament at 10 a.m. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports.
You work all year to be an all-star, and you get to play up to 40, and then you're done. This is so unfair to Victor Wembanyama, who just took this game really seriously, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who just took this game really seriously. When you talk about chasing after the points records, Melo and Kobe and all these guys who've had great scoring nights, they don't get the opportunity to do that with this game. Also, we can watch some rising stars. We're about to watch the Olympic team. Now we get the treat of watching the Olympic team play against a U19 team. Come on, what are we doing? This is ridiculous.
This is Draymond Green on the All-Star broadcast on TNT, not holding his tongue, was filled with disdain all night long about this new format. I was my attention was divided on Sunday because the NBA All-Star festivities went up against the 50th anniversary special for Saturday Night Live.
Oh, okay.
I was much more interested in the SNL thing.
Okay.
But I taped both of them, flipping back and forth. I got to say, I could not get any interest generated for the NBA All-Star game.
It's a little better, but it still sucks. How about that? That's my takeaway. It was a little better, but it still sucks. I really love the idea of putting together a young team and allowing that young team to take a real shot at a group of established all-stars. I thought that's interesting to me. And that team that advanced to that group of four was also a very interesting group of teams. Ryan Dunn was on the team. Steph Castle, this rising star in San Antonio, was on this team. But you could tell there was a code on the court. Don't try too hard. So it still sucks. And for Draymond Green, Draymond Green is getting destroyed by a lot of people who are basically saying, it is your generation, big fella, that ruined this thing. So don't start complaining about it.
Yeah, Charles Barkley was among those people.
I'm going to disagree with Draymond a lot. You know, listen, we're trying anything. You know, I use the analogy like when your kids mess up the house, you make them clean it up and they complain, and they mess the game up. That's why we're trying kamikaze stuff out here right now. So his generation messed the game up. So don't act like he's mad because they're trying to use rookies, and we're doing every type of trick to make this weekend exciting.
Yeah, I think Draymond Green, certainly when he gets lumped into the generation of all-stars that have lessened the importance and effort level of the festivities, he's certainly complicit. But that doesn't mean he's not right about his criticism either. I thought the whole weekend sucked, honestly. I mean, the slam dunk contest, again, Mac McClung wins it for the third straight year, and people are saying, oh, he might be the greatest dunk contest player ever. Really? Who's he going against? He's going against guys who can't make a simple dunk. It was more of a clank contest.
Right.
The skills competition, leave it to Chris Paul to try to find a loophole, and he did, and cheated, and got disqualified. He and Victor Wembanyama got disqualified because they found the loophole where you didn't have to take a shot. Just take the ball out of the rack and fling it towards the basket. Save some time. They got disqualified. The three-point shootout is the three-point shootout. The fact that the three-point contest between Steph Curry and Sabrina Ionescu, which happened last year, didn't happen. I thought that was a void. And then with this format, yes, they tried something different. It was a 4-team format. There was actually like 40 minutes of basketball in a 3+ hour telecast. The breakdown is pretty alarming. If they're going to keep this format, what they need to do first and foremost is keep Kevin Hart away from it.
Well, that was an abomination, if you ask me. Providing commentary in the midst of the game, I mean, come on. You're asking people to watch and take it seriously, but then you're effectively mocking it. Come on.
I mean, in the championship game, they took a 17-minute timeout so they could pay tribute to the TNT guys, who, by the way, aren't really going anywhere. They're just going to be working under a different umbrella next year. I know it was the last game on TNT. Everything was so, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, fractured. It just seemed like nobody knew what they were supposed to do. And that's saying something when it's a broadcast headed up by Ernie Johnson, who's maybe the best in the business.
Yeah.
There was a lot of times where, I mean, when they had Kevin Hart doing commentary and all he was doing was yelling at Charles Barkley to bench players who kept shooting threes. Like, come on, what are we doing here? It used to be must-see television, and now it's must-avoid television.
It's not good. And so I think maybe... And Kevin Durant went off as well, complaining about basketball fans who are complaining about everything in the NBA. It's really proof to me that this modern generation of players, the ones who have taken the self-empowerment movement era way too far, I don't know how they're going to be remembered. I mean, they're going to be remembered as great basketball players. But there's something more to it than that. There's something more. There's something about serving the game and not yourself. And there's something about this generation that is just a little bit off, in my opinion. And the way that they expect to be honored as all-stars, but do nothing to make the game interesting or compelling, it's baffling to me, and it makes me angry. I'll be quite honest. It makes me angry. They all want 7, 8, 9-time all-star on their resume. They all want to be able to say that when they're going into the Hall of Fame, but none of them seem to want to bring the requisite effort to make the game interesting. Well, and it's on them. They're the ones who put that debacle on the floor 2 years ago.
They did, but it was also even, I think, illuminated more this year because it was going up against another contrived attempt to revive something in an all-star weekend for a sport, and the NHL doing this Four Nations thing, which got criticism. You're shutting down the league for this? It was compelling. I mean, the difference between hockey players and basketball players from an effort standpoint, you could never replicate that in basketball, ever. Nobody's going to play that hard in an exhibition.
But people always complained about the NHL All-Star game also, that they don't play defense, and it's 14 to 12. Those games.
But a lot of people are saying in the NBA, come up with the U.S. versus the world. Okay, fine. They're not going to play hard. They're not. You could dress up basketball all-star games however you like.
I don't know if I agree with you on that last part. If it's U.S. versus the world, or they separate this by country, and other countries are coming at Team USA, I think they start to play hard. I don't think then they keep the same mentality. I think the psychological implications change dramatically if you go to that format. If you go to U.S. versus the world. If you tap into the World Baseball Classic kind of thing. If you tap into what hockey is doing.
Yeah, but the World Baseball Classic and hockey are both countries. The world, like with somebody from Canada and somebody from France and somebody from, Argentina have like a bond that they wouldn't need to like play strong because they're on the same team.
Other than hating America, no, that would be the only.
Well, but there's a lot of that going on.
That's
these
true.
days. There's a lot of that fuel going on. So
that's fair.
No, I think that's the only way to save this. To be honest with you, I really, really do.
I'm just being too jaded about it. I just don't see NBA players playing that hard, especially in the middle of a season.
Yeah.
I mean, hockey players are a different breed.
Okay, so then why doesn't the NBA just do the sensible thing and just erase this weekend off the calendar? Name people all-stars if you want. No game. Just take the week to spread out the NBA schedule. But give a team 2 less back-to-backs and blow off the all-star break.
So get rid of even like the dunk contest.
Everything. What relevance is it?
Well, every year, now we see it too. I mean, Mac McClung wins the dunk contest. And then John Morant goes on social media afterwards like, oh, Mac McClung is maybe making me want to do this contest. And to be honest, if you do it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
They always do it right after the contest.
Always.
And then when the contest rolls around the next year, they don't do it.
Well,
and then LeBron James ducking out of the game like an hour before tip-off. That got criticism. There was no Giannis. There was no Anthony Edwards. it was a swing and a miss.
Well, and now they're talking about maybe going one-on-one for $1 million. Good luck. You're not going to get any of the alphas in the NBA putting their reps on the line for a one-on-one competition.
It's why they don't do the slam dunk contest anymore.
That's exactly why. The potential loss in status and being embarrassed, it's way greater than the joy of meeting your expectations.
You're right. Arizona Sports is giving you the chance to experience Extra Innings Festival. You'll see performances by the Lumineers, Casey Musgraves, Kings of Leon, and many more. Head to the contest page now at arizonasports.com for complete details and your chance to win tickets. Coming up, Kevin Durant has a message to NBA fans. Stop complaining. We'll get into that and more on the Suns next. Bickley and Murata Mornings here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
I am super optimistic about the names that are walking into that clubhouse.
Spring training coverage presented by Estrella Jalisco and Window Depot. Nobody brings you more D-backs than we do. The home of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
February means big President's Day savings all month long at the best place in the Valley to get into a new Ford. Of course, that's Earnhardt Ford in Chandler. Vince Murata back to tell you that's where General Manager John Nissen and the entire team are rolling out huge discounts on 2024 Ford F-150 STX and XLTs. They're available at a low 3.9% APR financing rate for 60 months, plus get up to $7,000 total cash back towards your purchase. If you're looking for an EV option, how about the all-electric 2024 Ford Mustang Mach-E at 0% APR for a full 72 months on approved credit, plus $2,500 in Ford bonus cash and a Ford home charger and installation with 24/7 live support. All offers do require approved credit. See dealer for details. These offers end March 3rd, 2025, and you can take advantage of them now at Earnhardt Ford in Chandler, I-10 and Ray Road, or complete your entire buying process online at earnhardtford.com, and that ain't no bull.
Hey, sports fanatics and card collectors, this is Adam from DNA Cards and Collectibles. Mark your calendars for Saturday, February 22nd. We're hosting a Topps Hobby Rip Night you don't want to miss. We're happy to announce Arizona's favorite female hooper, Sophie Cunningham, and a 3-time Pro Baseball All-Star and previous MVP will be ripping packs and hanging out. Get more information by following us on Instagram at DNA Card Shop, located at 32nd Street in Shea in the plaza with Zips and Ace Hardware. DNA Cards and Collectibles. Be legendary.
Hey, it's Gambo. Have you been wanting a soft water unit for your home? Now is the time to get one. Christian Brothers is offering a whole home water filtration system starting at just $2,200, and you can even finance it for as low as $50 per month. They want people living in Maricopa County to have complete confidence in the water coming from their taps. So take advantage by calling Christian Brothers at 602-222-3535 or go online at cbrothers.com. That's cbrothers.com.
Born in the birthplace of tequila, Estrella Jalisco is the golden Mexican Pilsner with roots in Jalisco, Mexico since 1910. The finest ingredients are always used to deliver a smooth and flavorful taste with a crisp finish that leaves you refreshed. We're proud to bring you this authentic and delicious Mexican beer, perfect for pairing with food and enjoying with friends. Estrella Jalisco, official cerveza partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
We could all use more time. Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. I can see why they call it smart. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million+ products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Right now, get up to a $15 gift card after rebate when you purchase select Superstart batteries exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The
Renaissance Festival is back. Weekends now through March 30th. Be ready to have a great time. Amazing adventure awaits the entire family. New shows, shopping, jousting nights, non-stop feasting. Leave your cares behind. Happiness reigns at the Renaissance Festival. It's fun and affordable. You'll love the Renaissance. Visit now through March 30th. Discount tickets available at Bashers and Food City or online at arizona.renfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashers, Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness. Huzzah!
I'm Fred Khalil with Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. ASU's frustrating basketball season continues tonight at home. The Devils host the 21-4 Houston Cougars in a Big 12 matchup in Tempe. The Cougars under Kelvin Sampson play smothering defense, and they turn that into a fast pace. ASU, meantime, is now 12-13 and 3-11 in Big 12 play. Tip-off is 7 o'clock, and you can hear Tim Healy on the call right here on Arizona Sports 98.7. and the Arizona Sports app. Meantime, Arizona took care of Baylor 74-67. The Wildcats are now 18-8 and 12-3 in Big 12 play. Tobey Awaka led U of A with 14. 4 Wildcats finished in double figures, and Arizona will host BYU on Saturday. The Diamondbacks locked up another member of their core roster on Monday, agreeing to a 4-year, $45 million contract extension with shortstop Geraldo Perdomo. ESPN's Jeff Passan was the first to report this. The deal buys out Perdomo's next 2 arbitration years and includes a $5 million signing bonus plus a club option for a 5th year. And here's something potentially good for baseball fans. The D-backs are hoping to have some games broadcast on over-the-air television. It's a growing trend around the nation, free TV, and the D-backs want to capitalize on it. This report is brought to you by Brooklyn Bedding. The President's Day sale has been extended. Get 30% off in-store and online through February 25th. Find a showroom today or go to brooklynbedding.com.
Hey, it's Gambo. Hope you had a great holiday weekend. Are we going to talk about the NBA All-Star Game? Probably not. Find out today on Arizona Sports.
Man, that would be tough. Of course, I would have to go with myself. But there's so many great one-on-one players in our league. I don't think it would be easy to predict who will come out on top. But if I had to say one guy, it'd probably be Wemby. I had Tatum in there too, the long athletic guys, you know. So I just feel like it's a lot of guys that can come out here and put a show on in a one-on-one. So that would be a cool addition to All-Star Weekend. We'll see what happens.
That was Kevin Durant pre-All-Star Game talking with NBA TV on this hypothetical one-on-one tournament. Now that's getting some run as a possible replacement or addition to NBA All-Star Weekend as they continue to try to throw stuff at the wall and see if anything sticks. Kevin Durant made headlines for other reasons over the weekend. And fittingly, because it's KD, it happened on social media. He went on social media yesterday, about 10:35, and said, "I think it's more fun to complain about the NBA than actually watch it. Crazy. Cancel All-Star Weekend and let's give everybody a break since we're so miserable around this time." That got a response from one of his followers. It said, "KD, today's a day off for y'all. I'm asking you to rewatch the full live broadcast with the unreal amount of commercials, breaks, and everything else today. Watch it from your couch and see if you can watch the full event straight through. And it was an all-star game. Not ideal." Durant responded and said, "I get it. My point is, fans complain about everything. Like nothing is good enough for the fans right now. Only thing they enjoy is the playoffs, trade deadline, free agency, and when players beef with each other, LOL."
Okay, so he's contradicting himself. They do care about stuff. They care about the playoffs. They care about beefs. They care about the trade deadline. They don't complain about everything, but they complain about bad all-star games. When you get a bad all-star game, when you get a game in which NBA players are half-assing it because it doesn't count, all right? It reinforces the reason some people don't like the association. That's the bottom line. And when you're talking about an all-star game where the celebrities were being emphasized more than the basketball players, where commercials more than doubled the amount of actual basketball that you ended up watching, the long delays, all of that stuff, then it feeds into that idea that why don't you guys care as much as we do? That's what it taps into. I'm not among that crowd. I've said it all the time. I could watch the association every day of the week.
I could too. I'm not going to complain about. I know a lot of complaint about the regular season being too long. I'm fine with it. It doesn't really bother me that much. I know Jarrett every year when the playoffs roll around. It takes so long.
Oh, it takes so long.
Why is it taking so long?
By the end of the playoffs last year, you guys were on my side.
I don't know about that.
Only because the Suns made a cameo appearance.
Okay.
We were around for the first 15 minutes.
Right.
So I'm with you. I don't have a problem with that, but when it's dressed up and glitzed up to the way that they did this with the All-Star game, it was. I did the same thing. I told you off the air. I went back yesterday just to fast forward through all the superfluous crap, just to watch the basketball. I fell asleep halfway through the first game in the middle of the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm old, but it was a tough watch.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I agree with you.
I do believe there is some truth to what KD says, though, about what fans prefer. Like trade deadline, free agency. Free agency, July 1st is maybe the biggest day on the NBA calendar.
Yeah, no, listen, it might be, but I think there's also other actual reasons that are in here. Okay, so on the Wednesday before the All-Star break, we, in 15 NBA games, there were 1,119 three-point shots taken on a single night. It's the most ever in NBA history. There's an argument that people really hate watching that brand of basketball. I get it when you're watching bad teams shoot threes. It's like watching football games with bad quarterbacks. It's not great. But the viewership decline is very, very real. Now, I think people can make an argument that it's very, very real in every aspect with the fragmenting of television and televised sports and all that stuff. I get all that. But the idea that basketball fans complain about everything, I think this is this is the handiwork of the players. They don't want to face it because they're precious, because they're stars.
Well, we played some of Draymond Green's comments about the All-Star game.
Mm-hmm.
The day before, during media availability, he went in on the entire league.
It's crazy. When we played the Lakers a couple weeks ago, it was so refreshing to play against Bron because every possession is like a chess match. Like, he trying to see when you're coming to help so he can zing the pass through. You're kind of playing this cat and mouse game, trying to wait till he turn his head so you can go help. And every possession is some type of chess move. You don't get that today in the NBA often. You go back to like those matchups where we were playing against, and so every now and then you get a matchup like that. But you don't just get that on a regular basis. It's just who can run faster, who can hit more threes. It's no substance. And so I think it's very boring.
Well, comparing a matchup against LeBron James to a chess match, I mean, you're really capturing what the fans are looking for, because I know fans are flocking to their televisions to watch chess on television because it's just, it's just the ultimate. And I find it hypocritical for Draymond Green, who's made his career with the Golden State Warriors, the team that has done more to change the style of basketball than any other team.
Mm-hmm.
They are at the forefront of this. And now it's, everybody just shoots too many threes. It just... I can't get behind that either. I'm with you. When it's nothing but 3-point shots and they're not going in, it's a tough watch.
Yeah.
If teams are hot from 3-point range, sign me up.
There's nothing wrong with it.
It's about shot making.
Yeah, that's what it is. But I think the sheer volume is such that it leads to a lot of those bad games. But again, I don't think that's really all that big of a deal, because as somebody who is very much into basketball, I'm not all that bothered by the 3-point shooting. I'm really not.
Well,
I don't like the bad teams and the bad shooting nights when one team is 9 of 49 and the other team is 6 of 37. Yeah, I don't like that either. But it's fast paced. It's better than the plodding, throw the ball into the post and watch a guy dribble for 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And look, a big part of it is also the superstars of the league play 2/3 of the games of the regular season now, and that's the best ones that aren't.
That's it too.
And the regular season just does in a short attention span world, especially with young people. They know that a long NBA season, that each game doesn't really matter that much when 20 out of 30 teams make the play-in or playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think that's also why baseball regular season doesn't get that much love, and why football does.
Part of the issue in my opinion, I once gave Adam Silver a ton of credit for coming in as David Stern's successor and being exactly the opposite kind of leader. David Stern was an owner's guy who was always a hard ass on the players. Mm-hmm. Players feared him. Players didn't like him. Players, went the other way when he was in the building. And Adam Silver came in and decided to do the exact opposite. I am going to be a player-friendly commissioner. And players take advantage of it, just like employees take advantage of a soft boss. Yep. It's the way the world works. And for Adam Silver 2 years ago to have to admonish NBA players for that All-Star game, that's something he would have never thought of doing in recent years. For Adam Silver to remind players like Jimmy Butler to honor their contracts, something he would have never done years ago. But he's had a hand in this. He's been so soft on the players, and it all started. You know where it all started? You remember where it all started? The Donald Sterling kick him out of the league. That day when he got up on that television and said, "You are banned for life," right? And players were like, "Oh, snap! We got one of us."
Yeah,
and that was very early in
one of his first moves as commissioner too.
But now the whole thing is it's gotten too much.
Yeah, when you empower a group and then years later, like, wow, they got really powerful.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of did it. And I know everything is a personal preference thing, and the NBA's under the microscope for being boring, and Draymond's saying it too. I'm with you. It's personal preference. I could still watch the NBA. To me, the NFL has become boring. We've talked about that during football season too. The way offenses operate now, it's not exactly the most entertaining brand of football. But Jarrett's right. The scarcity of it, that it's 18 weeks.
That they're all huge events.
Yes.
That's what carries football.
Yeah.
That even though you might not like the quality, you can't disagree with the game's importance.
I agree. Yeah. But I think Adam Silver's going to do something rash on this whole subject. I don't know if it's going to be next year.
All right.
I don't know what they can do. I was thinking about it over the weekend. Do you just play a season without a three-point line and see what happens? How do you do that?
That's not going to happen.
No, I mean,
there's players. The players' union would never allow that. There's players that are in the league because they shoot three-pointers.
Yes, absolutely. But what, you're going to move it back after these players have trained their whole lives? Get rid of the corner three, which is a huge weapon analytically. I don't know what you can do. Get in a time machine and go back to 1979 and never adopt the rule in the first place?
No.
I don't think you can do that either.
No.
Coming up next, what NFL teams will have the bigger regret? The ones that don't take Cam Ward or the one that does take Aaron Rodgers? We'll get into that and more next. It's Bickley and Murata Mornings here on this Tuesday. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Burns and Gambo, afternoons.
Do you think the Arizona Diamondbacks have done enough? It's a loaded question, I know.
Okay,
it's a complicated question.
You lost two really good players in Walker and Peterson. You replaced those two guys with Naylor. But I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say the addition of Corbin Burns, giving them another top-flight starting pitcher, is going to make a big difference. So I'll lean towards yes. I think they've done enough.
Burns and Gambo, afternoons 2 till 6 on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here with some exciting news for anyone out there considering a life-changing smile upgrade. Let me tell you about New Life Dental Implant Center. They're revolutionizing the way we think about dental implants, making it easier, faster, and more affordable than ever. At New Life Dental Implant Center, you get everything done in one location from start to finish. That's right, no bouncing around to different offices. Everything you need, including surgery, lab work, and follow-ups, right there in one place. And get this, currently offering all-on-4 dental implants for just $99.90 per arch. That is an incredible price. No hidden fees, no surprise costs. One price from start to finish. New Life is committed to being the best and most affordable option out there. They've even got an in-house laboratory, which means faster turnarounds and higher quality control. You are not waiting for weeks for some outsourced lab to finish your new teeth. It's all happening right there in real time. Now, if you're thinking, how can I afford this? New Life Dental Implant Center also has 0% financing, which means you can get that brand new, amazing, life-changing smile for just $350 a month at New Life Dental Implant Center. A new smile means a new life. Call them at 602-855-0000 or online at newsmilearizona.com.
Golf responsibly with Bad Birdie Juicy Golden Ale from Four Peaks Brewing, Arizona's #1 craft brewery. Bad Birdie Juicy Golden Ale is easy to enjoy. Subtle notes of passion fruit, orange, and guava flavors, and a crisp, refreshing finish. Check out Bad Birdie Juicy Golden Ale at your local restaurant or retailer. Golf responsibly.
Every day, reliable, comfortable, connected. Every day you rely on power. At APS, we work around the clock to deliver some of the most reliable power in the country. But with Arizona's extreme weather, outages can happen. Stay safe and informed with alerts by keeping your contact information up to date. And visit our outage center for updates online or on the APS app. For more ways to stay safe and informed, visit aps.com/brighter.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Old Spice Swagger Body Wash will make you the MVP of freshness and confidence. With its irresistible scent, it will transform your shower experience, leaving you feeling fresh on and off the field. Pair it with Old Spice Swagger Deodorant, the #1 aluminum-free brand that keeps you feeling like a Super Bowl champion 24/7 when used daily. But don't wait. This dynamic duo is available at Costco for a limited time only. Old Spice, official deodorant partner of the NFL and Super Bowl 59, where freshness meets football greatness.
This President's Day, if you're shopping for a car, truck, SUV, or crossover, certified, pre-owned, or even electric, you owe it to yourself to check out your Valley Chevy dealers. Drive yours away this President's Day. Live life bigger in a new Blazer, or the award-winning Equinox, or the roomy and dependable Trax, where versatility meets agility. Don't miss out on the chance to drive yours away this President's Day. See your Valley Chevy dealers or visit valleychevy.com. Together, let's drive.
So you're in pretty decent shape, but okay, as we get older, we lose a step. Totally natural part of being a guy. And at Vital for Men, we got your back by helping you get it back. Testosterone replacement therapy is designed to make you feel powerful, sharp, and renewed. Get started today with a free test at one of our 3 Valley-wide locations. And on top of that, we're excited to offer semaglutide to support your health journey even further. Visit Vital4Men.com today. Vital, the number 4men.com. It's time to get it back.
The Valley of the Sun will roar to life this spring because NASCAR is coming to Phoenix, and it's going to be a weekend of good vibes the whole family won't forget. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 7th through the 9th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Bickley and Murata. Hash marks.
You bring in a guy that's won 4 MVPs, won a Super Bowl, and all of a sudden, if you're Caleb Williams and Aaron Rodgers is telling you you need to look at a play differently, that matters. I have a hard time being able to find a landing spot for him to be a starting quarterback in this league. But if you're talking about Aaron Rodgers accepting a backup quarterback role, Chicago might not be the worst place, might not be the worst fit for him and for Caleb Williams.
That is Chris Canty from ESPN Radio, kind of looking at the tea leaves and trying to project where Aaron Rodgers fits. Interesting choice there. I don't think Aaron Rodgers has any interest whatsoever, Bick, about being a backup quarterback anywhere in the NFL. I don't think that's what he apparently told the Jets in their meetings. I plan on playing in 2025. Jets decided to move on. And even if he was, would you subject your starting quarterback, your maybe future franchise star quarterback in Caleb Williams to any undermining from Aaron Rodgers? I wouldn't.
I think it's a non-starter. I don't think that in any world Aaron Rodgers would go. I don't think in any world Aaron Rodgers wants to continue his career bad enough to be a backup quarterback.
No.
I just don't picture it. So, but again, I'm not certain there won't be a team in a little bit here that realizes, man, there's not a lot of good options out there. I mean, even the teams that need quarterbacks are being warned, I wouldn't draft any of these dudes. Whether it's Cam Ward, whether it's Shedeur Sanders, there's a belief among NFL types that Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward, if they came out last year, or put it this way, if last year's quarterbacks who came out were available this year, that both of them would rank below Bo Nix, who is at the end of that class.
Yeah, but I see that, but I think, I don't know, I think both of those guys can succeed. I mean, you know, the push on quarterbacks happens every single year. I want to get back to we'll get back to the rookie quarterbacks and Cam Ward specifically in a second. I still think if you're searching for a spot for Aaron Rodgers to be a starter, I don't know how much interest the team would have. The most logical landing spot to me is Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And there seems to be some movement. I got a text message last week from somebody saying not only Aaron Rodgers will end there, Devontae Adams will join him in Tennessee. A team that has floundered at the quarterback position, kind of floundered in the standings. It's a one-year stopgap, maybe to get the train rolling before that they can identify their starter of the future. I mean, outside of that, I don't see many teams that make sense.
Well, we saw how much Rodgers and Adams got the train rolling in New York with a much better roster around them.
Yeah, I mean,
the only way it's going to work for Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion, is for his representation when they begin talking to general managers of places that might make a phone call. He is going to have to do exactly what Russell Wilson did in Pittsburgh, and that is come in and drop everything else and be a good teammate, and to do so in an obvious way, meaning no Pat McAfee show. No offense to Pat McAfee or someone's ability to exercise free speech, but you see what that does to a football team. And if I were a GM and I were willing to go down that road because I have no better options, there's conditions that I'm making. And he's going to have to follow those conditions if he's going to be my quarterback. Otherwise, he's not going to be. If Aaron Rodgers thinks he can roll into another NFL franchise the way he rolled into the New York Jets, then either he's stupid or the team hiring him is stupid.
But that's where it becomes interesting, because I don't think Aaron Rodgers is a great teammate at this point for a lot of the reasons you just mentioned. But a lot of the guys that went into games with him on Sunday, C.J. Mosley said, hey, he gave everything he had to this team. He's got no reason to hang his head. So, I mean, the guys themselves apparently like playing with Aaron Rodgers, but it's all that other peripheral stuff that kind of kills the mood.
It undermines a coach's authority is what it does, and that's the whole thing. Aaron went into the New York Jets with the leverage. Okay, you're going to get my phenomenal Hall of Fame talents, but you got to listen to me, and you got to bring in my guys because I know what I'm doing and you do not. Now, like I said, you'd have to be a special kind of stupid as a football franchise to go down that path again.
Well, we know there are special kinds of stupid in the NFL. So, the Cam Ward story, he collected the Davey O'Brien Award as the nation's top college quarterback yesterday. And before he got that award, talking about his draft future. Quote, okay, you're either going to draft me or you're not. If you don't draft me, that's your fault. You've got to remember you're the same team that's got to play me for the rest of my career, and I'll remember that. The latest, be careful what you do. It's kind of Rosen-esque, isn't it?
Oh, it's beyond kind of Rosen-esque. It is very, very much Rosen-esque, is it not?
Josh Rosen.
So Josh Rosen and his 9 mistakes. Okay, this is the last time we've heard a quarterback talk like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you would think Cam Ward would have somebody giving him a little better advice because Josh Rosen, if you go back to the 2018 NFL draft, let's do this little exercise ourselves here. Pick by pick, 2018 NFL draft.
Okay.
All right. So Baker Mayfield goes first overall. Saquon Barkley, Sam Darnold, Denzel Ward, Bradley Chubb, Quentin Nelson, Josh Allen. Yeah, that Josh Allen. 7th overall. Roquan Smith, Mike McGlinchey, Josh Rosen, UCLA. After Josh Rosen, you've got Minka Fitzpatrick, Vita Vea, and Durant Payne.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just stop at Vita Vea because Vita Vea is a tremendous player. Durant Payne is good too, but out of the top 12, the only mistake was Josh Rosen.
Rosen.
That's how stupid Josh Rosen's braggadocio looks in hindsight. In fact, when you hear Cam Ward kind of echo the same, and I think Cam Ward's a better prospect than Josh Rosen is, but what Josh Rosen said in retrospect might go down as one of the dumbest things a young athlete has ever said coming out of college.
He had people believing, though.
Well,
go back to Trent Dilfer on our airwaves, draft night 2018.
We all believed.
You guys just won the draft.
Yeah, we all believed because we all thought we all thought, no, Jared, we've had enough. We've had enough.
Eat your bagel.
Yeah, you go back to eating stuff in your face.
I finished that bagel 10 minutes ago. I don't know what you're talking about.
So from my standpoint, Josh Rosen, he came in and we all bought into this idea that, wow, he can be just like Tom Brady. He has got such great brain power that he's going to be one of those cats who knows the play before the football's in his hand.
Nope.
No.
Well,
and there was a stunning shortage of athleticism for a young dude.
There was, but I mean, I think that was on display during his college career as well. And I wanted to get, even when it came to an end, after Cliff Kingsbury came out in his early days as the coach, said, nope, Josh is our guy. And then we saw what happened on draft weekend. They ship him out of town. I wanted to believe, okay, this was just a bad situation for Josh Rosen.
Mm-hmm.
He was in a no-win situation with a bad offense and a first-year coach who was in over his head. He'll catch on somewhere and do something.
Mm-hmm.
And that never happened. So that was just a complete swing and a miss. In fact, among all 32 players that were drafted in the first round that year, Josh Rosen played in the least amount of NFL games. He played in 24 NFL games in his career. The next lowest number is 56 by Isaiah Wynn, a tackle who went 23rd overall.
Wow.
I'm sorry, Rashad Penny, 45 games as a running back.
Okay.
But still almost double the amount of games that he played in.
Yeah, and it's kind of sad. I remember 1 year near Christmas, Josh Rosen was walking into the Cardinal complex and he had he had
Christmas decorations
and
Hanukkah
decorations. And
yeah,
and he had a menorah and he was bringing it all in to make the locker room festive.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, what a good teammate this guy is. Fast forward, remember into that visual where he was sitting by himself in the stands watching the Buccaneers practice?
Yep.
Oh, my goodness. Don't be a Rosen.
I don't think Cam Ward's going to be a Rosen, though. Do you?
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Arizona Sports giving you the chance to experience Extra Innings Festival. You'll see performances by the Lumineers, Casey Musgraves, Kings of Leon, many more. Head to the contest page now at arizonasports.com, presented by Y-Refi for complete details and your chance to win tickets. Coming up next, our first guest of Newsmakers Week 2025, and it's none other than Diamondbacks manager Tory Lovullo. That's straight ahead here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
It's another disappointing Sun season. So what do Kellen and Kevin make of the team at the All-Star break? Find out on the Empire of the Suns podcast from Arizona Sports. Press play on the Arizona Sports YouTube channel. The Empire of the Suns podcast is brought to you by Sonic. Live free. Eat Sonic.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
As we approach this International Women's Day, we proudly honor the incredible contributions of women, shaping the future in our communities, at home, and right here at Morris Hall.
Andrea Klaus, attorney and managing partner of Morris Hall, a premier Arizona estate planning law firm.
Helping families secure their legacies with thoughtful estate planning is our purpose. At Morris Hall, we are proud of the women on our team who bring experience, strength, and compassion to every client interaction. We recognize and celebrate the exceptional perspectives women bring to the table while valuing the collaborative effort of everyone on our team. On behalf of all of us at Morris Hall, I invite you to meet with us for a complimentary estate planning consultation. Together, we can help protect what matters most to you and your family.
For your complimentary consultation, please visit morrishall.com. That's morrishall.com. Morris Hall, celebrating women's leadership and building strong legacies.
In celebration of Arizona being the 48th state of the Union and Ford trucks being #1 in sales for 48 straight years, Sanderson Ford is celebrating President's Day with a presidential sale on 848 new vehicles. Many with savings of $4,800 or more.
Save up to $4,800 on Bronco Sport Badlands. Save up to $10,000 off on F-150, STX, and XLT trucks. And save up to $10,000 off on full-size Bronco Badlands. Sanderson Ford also has 25 quality pre-owned vehicles to choose from, priced at $25,000 or less.
Shop with no hassle, no pressure, and no nonsense, and see why Sanderson Ford is America's most awarded Ford dealership for complete customer satisfaction. Don't miss the Sanderson Ford Presidential Sale.
Offers on 2024 models and include Ford rebates, Sanderson discounts, and Conquest cash and flex buy discounts you must qualify for. See dealer for details. All offers expire March 3rd, 2025.
Lose weight easier and faster with Red Mountain Weight Loss. Discover the power of semaglutide and tirzepatide, the breakthrough GLP-1 medications that are transforming lives. You lose up to 15 pounds a month without feeling hungry or deprived. And for a limited time only, save $100 on any GLP program and get our lowest prices of the year. Don't wait. Lose up to 15 pounds by this time next month only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Go to redmountainweightloss.com.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
KMVP FM Phoenix.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
On the Arizona Sports app and on 98.7.
I'm Fred Khalil with Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. The Diamondbacks have been successful in part because of a stable roster, and one of the keys to long-term success is keeping young talent locked up. Monday, the team agreed to terms with shortstop Geraldo Perdomo on a 4-year extension worth $45 million with a reported club option for a 5th year, and the deal kicks in next season. A switch-hitting shortstop, Perdomo hit .273 with 21 doubles. He's only 25 years old, and the move by the Diamondbacks buys out Perdomo out of arbitration and keeps him in Phoenix. It's one less thing to worry about. For more on this story and more D-backs news, head to ArizonaSports.com. In college basketball, ASU will host 21-4 Houston tonight in a Big 12 matchup in Tempe. ASU head coach Bobby Hurley says the Sun Devils have reached a premium frustration level. ASU's 12-13. They're only 3-11 in Big 12 play. And you can hear all the action right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 with Tim Healy on the call. It's a 7 o'clock tip-off. Meantime, U of A picked up a nice win on the road at Baylor, 74-67. The 19th-ranked Wildcats host BYU Saturday in Tucson. This report is brought to you by Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax. Set yourself up for retirement success. Schedule your free portfolio review at assetpreservationwealth.com and get the insights you need today.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Newsmakers Week with Bickley and Marotta Mornings. The Arizona Diamondbacks.
And Newsmakers Week 2025 getting underway today, going through Friday here on Bickley and Marotta Mornings, trying to catch up with Tory Lovullo. They got the workouts going on. First full squad workouts yesterday. Of course, the big news we mentioned during the splash yesterday with the Diamondbacks was the new contract extension for Geraldo Perdomo. Who, when you talk about, I think when a lot of people talk about the Diamondbacks and their reasons for success, Perdomo will get mentioned, but he won't get mentioned at the top of the list. People will look at the top of the pitching rotation, whether it's Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly. Now you throw Corbin Burns into that mix. They'll look at Corbin Carroll. They'll look at Ketel Marte, finished 4th in the National League. Geraldo Perdomo, for being only 25 years old, he is a very wise, grizzled 25, and he's kind of the leader of the team. And I think that was a very, very good preemptive move by the Diamondbacks to get him locked up.
Yeah, so do I. I think he's a very underrated piece in the mix here. I think he proved that during the postseason run. He was sensational throughout that run to the World Series, and he's a guy that solid in every way. Plus defender, plus bat, great attitude. So I'm stoked about that too.
Yeah, also stoked about spring training games getting underway on Friday out at Salt River Fields. I was looking, me and a buddy were looking at the schedule. Like, we got to get to a game on a Friday afternoon. So the time is almost here, Bick. And for a team in the Diamondbacks that around the league, when, all the pundits are talking about teams that won the offseason, the Diamondbacks are near the top of that list too. They had a very good offseason.
Yeah, yes. Well, look, they've got a very good core of young players. They've got a lot of team speed. They should play defense better, and they've got a fantastic starting rotation. That's obvious. The depth of it, 7 guys deep, it is clearly going to be a strength of the team.
Yep. And we are now joined by the manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks, Tory Lovullo. Visiting with us on Newsmakers Week. Torey, good morning.
Torey!
Guys, it's good to be with you. I'm walking. I hope you don't mind. Are we good with this?
Oh, we're
absolutely.
good with anything you want to do, my man.
We know it's a busy time for you, so we appreciate it.
No worries. Okay. All right. Let's see. You're back from. Did you fake an illness the other day? What's going on here?
Fake an illness, Torey?
Hey. No days off here, man. We don't do that here. We come in, sick or not, we go. We got to have you.
Right, Torey? Especially first day, you got to post, don't you?
I was thinking about the health of the team, Torey. I didn't want to get anybody sick shaking hands out there.
All right. We'll give you that one day. That's it, though. No more of that.
All right, so we're gonna start today's discussion talking about stability. If you get through the end of your current contract, you will be on the job 10 years. That's more than double any predecessor. What do you know now that you did not know in the fall of 2016 when you took this job?
Oh, man. First of all, I'm very, very grateful for that. Ken Kendrick and Derrick and Mike and everybody that's believed in me and has given me an opportunity to continue to come out here and be myself and lead this franchise from the dugout level. I couldn't be more honored. And in return, I give them my absolute best commitment every single day. And it's really worked out. And yesterday I said it to the group, it's my 9th year. That's a long time. And in sports, you don't necessarily see that. So, what it says to me is that, hopefully we're doing things right. We can see the results. We've had a couple very lean years. We get that. And that's not anything that we ever predicted. But at the end of the day, I've grown and learned so much when it comes to, player relationships, what it takes to get the most out of them. What does it mean every single day to go out there and be an Arizona Diamondback? I now have a full scale and a full scope of what it means to come in here and wear that across the front of your chest. And I'm so proud of that.
The last time we spoke to you, Torey, it was in the middle of the offseason, and a lot of the topic was, hey, you guys were real close to making the playoffs last year. You fall 1 game short. How much that was driving individuals. Now that you're back at Salt River Fields getting ready for another season, do you think that will still fuel this team and the individuals that were part of it to try to avoid that fate once again?
Yeah, for sure. I'm still smarting from it, but look, I've had to get over it. It's my job to get over it. And at the end of the day, I gotta find a way to make us better. Not make the mistakes that I made last year and put us in a situation where we aren't even half a game in or out of this thing. Like let's blow the roof off of that. But I also use it in my message to the group yesterday that what's really important to me are the small details. And you can't tell me that one detail didn't matter last year. If you're looking at the entire roadmap, we could have made up a half a game somewhere, somehow, sometime by paying attention to little things. So I really amplified that yesterday. We talk about winning the inch. There's inches all over the baseball field, and that's kind of the main thing and the main topic for me. Win every inch you possibly can. Punch first, don't get punched and knocked down, recover, be resilient, and make adjustments. And that was the basis of my talk to them yesterday.
One of the things that I like is you guys are going to kind of refocus in on playing the level of elite defense that you've shown in the past. And I love the idea of keeping Corbin Carroll locked into one position if you guys can pull that off. Talk about the importance of having that defensive stability and maybe what that might do for Corbin to lock him into right field and say, this is your post, my man.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, we got to do what's best and what's right by the player. And, in Corbin Carroll's case, a tremendous player. And it's so agreeable when we ask him to play center field, something he hasn't done in a couple of years, he doesn't bat an eye. And that's what we have here with our young players. He's, like I said, he's a true Diamondback, and he's going to sacrifice for the good of the team. But at the end of the day, I feel like it may have set him back with some of his development overall as an outfielder, because maybe a little confusion with the footwork, but doing what he can to catch up and run full speed in center field. We just want to put him in one place. And once we did last year, we feel like the offense really settled in and went in the right direction. So really what we got to do is put all of our players, especially young players, in the right place at the right time to be successful. And with Corbin being our everyday right fielder, and just about every day I want to play right field. There might be days where you'll see him in center field, but that's not by design right now. We want to give him that stability and show him where his home is out there in right.
Diamondbacks manager Torey Lovullo, our guest here during Newsmakers Week 2025. I know it's only been a few days in camp, but the big acquisition, obviously, Corbin Burnes. What have you seen early from Corbin? And what has he brought to this team early on, Torey?
Yeah, very direct, hardworking, knows exactly where he's at and what he's trying to get to every single day. My one-on-one with him was mostly, I like to sit down with players like that and ask them, like, how do you want to be coached? I don't know them. I want to speed through that process, right? It's like going on a first date with a girl. You want to know the likes and dislikes so you don't step into some potholes, right? So it was my first date with Corbin, and I said, look, I got to find out as quickly as possible. Let's cut through all the BS and tell me what you like and don't like. So that's where we went to on day one, and what I'm seeing is somebody that's extremely motivated, extremely driven, and knows exactly who he is, and we're going to enhance that every single day.
You and this is such a superfluous question, but naming an opening day starter is always such an absurdly big deal and an absurdly over-amplified decision. But in your case, it is kind of interesting because you've got this new stud in Corbin Burnes here, but you've got a couple of legacy guys, primarily Zach, who's been doing it. What are you sifting through with that decision?
Yeah, I mean, to be totally honest with you, it is a very hard decision. And you got Corbin Burnes. I don't know how many years he's been the opening day starter for his team, but I'm sure it's been several. The prize free agent of this offseason lands in Arizona. And then you got Zach Gallen, like you said, somebody that has been a true Diamondback and done everything that I've asked him to do, and then some. Even on days when he doesn't agree with what I say, he still will do it. And I just appreciate Zach on every level. And he has dug himself in here, and he knows exactly what it means to toe the slab for us, and has done it for the past several years. So I got a really hard decision, but I'm gonna ask a lot of people some really good questions. I'll make the final decision, which I'm grateful for, and I have a lot of hard decisions to make, and that'll be probably the first one I'll have to make regarding Corbin Burnes and Zach Gallen. And I don't envy myself, but I'll figure it out somehow, some way.
Torey Lovullo, our guest. Before we let you go, we were talking before you joined us, Torey, about the reports yesterday on Geraldo Perdomo's new contract extension, and we were both going on and on about just how important he is for this team. I want to hear it from you. What does Geraldo Perdomo bring? What does he mean to this franchise and this current club?
Well, first of all, a huge congratulations to Jerry, and so well deserved. And there's certain things that I'm able to talk about and battle for. When we're talking about contracts, I don't make any decision on it. But when Mike sits down and talks to me about the importance of certain players, I really started to pound the table hard for Jerry to get this and be a Diamondback for as many years as possible. So where it landed is not my decision, but what does he represent? Stability, leadership, consistency. He has been here in this organization since he was 16 years old, has been a product of our academy down in the DR. Every coach has touched Geraldo. and he's accepted coaching. So when he steps on the field, you guys get to see that art. It's a beautiful thing at shortstop, and I need a shortstop to play the baseball game just the exact same way that he does. And I've been very hard on him. I'm not going to lie. When he got here, he was still young. He still needed some training, and we had some very difficult conversations. If you asked him then, he would always say, why are you talking to me like that? Why are you being so mean to me? Why are you grinding down on me? But if you ask him now, he gets the picture and he understands why I was, and it's led to a great story.
All right, last thing for you, Torey. One of the things that we really appreciate about you is you're not afraid to invest emotionally in these players, to kind of show vulnerabilities, if you will. How do you think that plays among a new generation of athletes, and how different is this generation of baseball players to manage, given the fact that many come with their own cadre of coaches and approaches and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's a very difficult thing to manage today's player when you have the mentality that I grew up in. I played for some really hardcore managers, and if they said get down and do 10 push-ups, you did 10 push-ups and didn't ask why, and you tried to do them as fast as you possibly could, get back up and wait for your next instruction. So today's players wired a little bit differently. They've tapped into their emotions a little bit, and it's not to say that I wasn't or players of my generation weren't, but you just have to realize a human being is a very emotional being, and I think when your mind and your body and your spirit's in a really good place, this game's hard enough. You can go out and play it at the highest level without any worry or any curiosity or any frustrations. I'm not going to lie to you. There was times where I was out in the field in a total rage by something that my manager had said to me, and to him it was harmless, but to me it really stung. So I pick my time for those stinging comments. They're well needed at times, but by and large, you got to connect with these guys and build a relationship with them so they know where you're coming from every single day. And it's about caring, trust, and loving them up when you need to, and then kicking them in the rear when they need that as well.
Torey, thanks so much for joining us this morning. Really appreciate it, and we'll see you out at Salt River Fields very soon. I promise I'll be there next time.
We need you, man. This is a team effort. We need everybody, so let's go. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Torey. Torey Lovullo, Diamondbacks manager, joining us to kick off Newsmakers Week, which is in full effect all morning long. But first, the big stories on this Tuesday morning in the Rush Hour Reboot with Jarrett Carlin. Bickley Murata mornings here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
The Cactus League is underway.
2-2. Swung on and hit deep to center. Going back on it is Bader at the track, at the wall. It is gone. Marte, his second of the game, gives the Diamondbacks the lead.
Spring training coverage presented by Estrella Jalisco and Window Depot. The home of the Arizona Diamondbacks, Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here for Waltz TV and Appliance. I'm going to give you a few reasons to head down to Waltz, but first I'm going to break a misconception or a preconception. A lot of people believe that prices have to be lower at the big box stores, and that is because when you've walked into a big box store, you have probably seen a giant television on sale for a super low price, and you go, wow, the prices are really, really great. What you don't realize is that TV you're looking at is garbage. It's terrible for live action sports, and you would hate it the minute you put it on your wall. This is why you go to Waltz. They've got the expertise you need. They've been around since 1957. They've got all the major name brands you are looking for. They've got a great selection of big screen televisions all the way up to 115 inches. They've got that in their theater room if you want to go check that out. Plus, they're going to give you great pricing. Couple of examples. Now through April 1st, Waltz will give you a free Samsung portable lifestyle projector if you purchase a Q Series television 75 inches or bigger. It's the perfect mini projector you can take anywhere to stream all of your favorite content. Waltz also price matches. Find a price you like, Waltz will match that, provide you with 30 days of price protection after the sale. And while you're at Waltz, drop my name, you're going to get a pretty cool incentive. You're going to get 10% off installation labor or 3 years warranty for free. You can find Waltz off the I-10 in Warner, right behind the IKEA, or you can give them a call for more information. 480-968-4999. Shop local, shop Waltz.
Hey, it's time to put some presidents back in our wallets during the President's Day sales event going on right now at our Desert Ford dealers. Paul Calvisi here, and take that 2024 Ford Escape, made for the everyday, ready for your getaways. And right now, you can get a Ford Credit Flex Buy with 1.9% APR Ford Credit financing for 66 months, plus $2,000 in Flex Buy cash when you buy a new 2024 Ford Escape during the President's Day sales event. Hey, you're looking for the perfect work truck or maybe a powerful weekend warrior? Ford is the number one selling truck brand in Arizona. And right now, even better, Ram owners get 3.9% APR financing for 60 months, plus $5,000 cash back on a 2024 Ford F-150, XLT, and STX when you trade in your Ram. But hurry, time is running out on the President's Day sales event going on at our Desert Ford dealers. Click buyfordnow.com. Based on S&P Global Mobility Retail U.S. new vehicle registrations for the truck vehicle type, CYTD October 2024.
I'm Sia, and I support Humane World for Animals, formerly called the Humane Society of the United States. Together, we have created a new version of Peter Gabriel's beautiful song, Salisbury Hill, to celebrate Humane World for Animals and everything they do. Enjoy the song and join us in helping Humane World for Animals end animal cruelty.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. We could all use more time. Amazon Business offers smart business buying solutions so you can spend more time growing your business and less time doing the admin. I can see why they call it smart. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
It's time to tee it up at Sparky's Fairway, a new driving range event hosted inside ASU's Mountain America Stadium. Returning this February and presented by Four Peaks Bad Birdie Juicy Golden Ale. You can hit golf balls from an elevated platform onto the football field. Get you and 5 friends a bay for the hour while enjoying great food and drinks. Or book your own private party at the stadium. Sparky's Fairway is fun for the whole family. Tee times vary. Book your time today at ASU365.events.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Bickley and Mulatto Mornings. Rush Hour Reboot. Rush Hour Reboot. Getting you up to speed on everything happening in sports this morning. Brought to you by Brooklyn Bedding. For the best sleep ever, get the best mattress ever at Brooklyn Bedding.
Rush Hour Rebootski. Rebootski do. It is time for the Rush Hour Reboot a little early today because of all our many guests on Newsmakers Week. We'll get right into it since we're going late. I'm going to start off here with some comments Draymond Green made over All-Star Weekend and his thoughts on the Warriors and their place in the NBA.
We're going to win the championship.
Say that one more time so that everybody here can...
Say that with your chest.
I didn't hear you. My earpiece.
Because they added Jimmy Butler III, so what did you say?
81?
I'm sorry. I said I think we're going to win a championship, but I lied. We are going to win the championship.
Wow. Now, I will mention they're obviously in San Francisco when he said that.
But still, words are words, man.
Yeah.
That's it.
Reaction.
Listen, I love it because it really kind of, you add some spice to the mix. And we've got, I don't know how many games we got left in the NBA season, but he's saying that Jimmy Butler is him, that he is going to take us from being soft and unmotivated and all that into NBA assassins. Suns fans might have a hard time hearing it because maybe we would be feeling exactly the same way, but I think it adds a lot of spice.
Yeah, the Warriors are a game and a half in front of the Suns. They are in 10th place right now in the Western Conference, 28-27. So what's that, 27 games that they have left. Jimmy Butler's effect so far on the Golden State Warriors has been palpable. I don't think anybody can deny that. And it's empowered
3-1, right?
So far? Yeah, but even more so than that, it's empowered one of the biggest mouths in the NBA to make that claim.
Right.
That's how much belief Draymond Green has.
Yeah.
And I don't think Draymond Green says things he doesn't believe.
No, I agree with you.
So, yeah, if you're a Warriors fan, it's been a floundering season for them. To hear that at the All-Star break, That's a pretty powerful thing.
Totally agree.
I don't believe him. I don't think they're going to win a championship.
I agree with that as well. But if they believe it, that means everything has changed in their locker room, and that's hard for Suns fans because that's exactly what we were hoping for us.
And if he's right, and they do make this march the second half of the season and win a championship, how painful is it going to be here?
Very, 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 very.
As for the All-Star game itself, at best, people gave it a. It was okay, I guess. Man,
it sucked.
It was better than last year.
Yeah, that's
a pretty low bar.
That's the best I've heard people react to it. However, the new change, I don't know if they're exactly branding it as an all-star game, but this, nations against the 4 round robin tournament dealy pop that the NHL is doing.
Stop using such technical terms, please.
Has gotten rave reviews with all the countries playing against each other. So sort of if you can compare and contrast the two different All-Star weekends.
The NHL happened to struck upon gold with this, largely because of USA versus Canada. Now, we don't know how much of this is because Canadian hockey audiences have been booing ever since the inauguration. Our national anthem, which is what made the Tkachuk brothers angry in the first place.
The first time I heard it was actually at a Toronto Raptors basketball game, so it's happened too. Yeah.
That's right. Everywhere in Canada that is happening. So having 3 fights in the span of 9 seconds, as you pointed out in social media, Vinny, how interesting to see players actually care that much during an exhibition. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot into this. Some will say, well, this happens every time USA plays Canada in hockey. That's kind of true. There's definitely heat in that matchup every time they play. But I think what's been happening with the national anthem in Canada is directly tied into this, for better or worse.
I'm sorry, Jarrett. What was the question again?
Just to sort of compare and contrast the NHL and the NBA's All-Star weekends.
I think the NHL and the hockey world hit it out of the park. The timing was perfect. The fact that it was up against a watered-down All-Star weekend for the NBA made it pop more. But once we get back to normal life, the NHL is going to be the NHL, and the NBA is going to be the NBA. So they had their moment.
There you go.
There you go. You've been rebooted.
A very quick reboot.
That's
today.
good.
That's good.
The less Jarrett, the better.
I agree.
Go back to stuffing your face, Jarrett.
All right, I'll be right back.
Those bagels are not going to eat themselves. Coming up next, we continue Newsmakers Week on day 1, 2025. More D-backs talk. Will be joined by the Diamondbacks general manager Mike Hazen straight ahead. It's Bickley and Murata Mornings here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2.
That's what they need to do. Go in and figure out how to play better individually and how to play better collectively. Rebound better. Rebound that basketball. Rebound that. Okay, we all get it. It kind of loses a little bit out here at Salt River Fields.
It's an interesting choice to yell rebound that basketball at a baseball practice. Just to paint the picture for everybody.
Yeah.
We're about maybe 25 feet away from where the Diamondbacks players are working on stuff.
Yeah, they're right there, man.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2 on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here. You have a lot of options if you are hungry in the Valley. Only one place are you going to get the Sonic experience. It's why when lunchtime rolls around, when dinner time rolls around, highly recommend you head on down to your local neighborhood Sonic. You will not be disappointed. The experience is fantastic. You pull into a shaded parking spot. You've got this great menu outside the driver's side window. You check out the menu. You place your order. You don't have to move a muscle. Just like that, you are being served curbside by an iconic car hop. Doesn't get any better than that. Now that menu, pretty spectacular as well, known for a lot of different things. Sonic has a great lineup of burgers. They unveil one masterpiece after another. Their Smasher lineup currently in rotation. It is fantastic. Great drink menu, legendary amounts of combinations, slushes, cold brews, sodas, all the like. Great side items from their onion rings to the tots. All sorts of reasons why at lunchtime, head on down to your neighborhood Sonic. Live free. Eat Sonic.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at Cars carsforkids.org. Your car, running or not, could be picked up as soon as the next day. No title, no problem. Go to carsforkids.org today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/choice55 to learn more. With AutoPay plus taxes and fees, plus $5 per line without AutoPay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. Motorola Edge on us with 24 monthly bill credits and new line for well-qualified customers, plus tax and $35 per line connection charge. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Charger sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
As we approach this International Women's Day, we proudly honor the incredible contributions of women, shaping the future in our communities, at home, and right here at Morris Hall.
Andrea Klaus, attorney and managing partner of Morris Hall, a premier Arizona estate planning law firm.
Helping families secure their legacies with thoughtful estate planning is our purpose. At Morris Hall, we are proud of the women on our team who bring experience, strength, and compassion to every client interaction. We recognize and celebrate the exceptional perspectives women bring to the table while valuing the collaborative effort of everyone on our team. On behalf of all of us at Morris Hall, I invite you to meet with us for a complimentary estate planning consultation. Together, we can help protect what matters most to you and your family.
For your complimentary consultation, please visit morrishall.com. That's morrishall.com. Morris Hall, celebrating women's leadership and building strong legacies.
Need inspiration? Shop Fry's for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Fry's, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
You'll find low prices on thousands of items. The yellow and red tags mean you'll save big on sparkling ice water, Kroger brand chips, and so much more. Fry's, fresh for everyone.
I'm Fred Khalil with Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. In professional sports, one of the keys to long-term success is keeping young talent on your side, and that's exactly what the Diamondbacks have done. Monday, the team agreed to terms with shortstop Geraldo Perdomo on a 4-year extension worth $45 million. According to multiple reports, the Diamondbacks have a club option for a 5th year, and it kicks in next season. The switch-hitting shortstop hit .273 with 21 doubles. He's only 25 years old, and the move by the D-backs should keep the club in contention for another championship run. They've locked up a core group that includes Corbin Burns, Zach Gallen, and Ketel Marte, and now Perdomo. A season that began with high hopes has now become one of disappointment for ASU, as the Sun Devils, now 12-13 and 3-11 in Big 12 play, host number 5 Houston tonight. The Cougars are 21-4. They lead the nation in scoring defense, while the Devils are on a 5-game losing streak, and according to Coach Bobby Hurley, have reached a premium frustration level. You can hear tonight's Houston ASU game here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the app. It's a 7 o'clock tip. Houston beat Arizona Saturday, but last night the U of A handled Baylor 74-67. The Cats, which had fallen 8 spots in the national rankings to 19, are now 18-8 overall, 12-3 in the Big 12, good for second place. Tobe Awaka scored 14, Caleb Blood 13, as 4 Cats were in double figures. And Team USA Hockey will face Canada in the championship game of the Four Nations Faceoff. The U.S. beat Canada in Montreal Saturday, and Thursday's matchup is in Boston. On Monday, Canada beat Finland, and the U.S. lost to Sweden. This report is brought to you by Brooklyn Betting. The President's Day sale has been extended. Get 30% off in-store and online through February 25th. Find a showroom today or go to brooklynbetting.com.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Newsmakers Week with Bickley and Marotta Mornings. The Arizona Diamondbacks.
We've already spoken to Torey Lovullo, Diamondbacks manager, early this morning, and now we are joined as Newsmakers Week continues here on Bickley and Marotta Mornings by the D-backs general manager Mike Hazen, kind enough to check in with us during Newsmakers Week. Mike, good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Morning, guys. How are you?
What's happening, Mike?
I would love to hear your thoughts on, off-season checklists. And I know general managers go through with things that they want to accomplish in the off-season. I thought it was a very fruitful off-season for your team. How many of those items did you get to check off that list?
I think we checked off a few of them. The problem with the job that I have and the way I view it is that list is way longer than we ever get to really check off. Mm-hmm. So, how do we feel about the offseason? I feel like we did some good things to put this team together. I feel like there's a lot of things that are still uncertain with where we are in the season. I think just getting comfortable with that. Nobody has a perfect team going into the year. As we know, you're part of our job now becomes making adjustments during the season. Try to build up as much depth as you can in the offseason, but you have to come to grips with the reality that you're not going to put together the team that you're going to finish with. And there's going to be opportunities during the year to make those adjustments. That's where having good young minor league players, where we are in the draft and what we do internationally becomes so important, because that's the capital that you have. It's less about money. It's more about having good prospects that allow you to make those adjustments during the year. And there hasn't been a year yet where we've walked into the season with a perfect team, and there hasn't been a year yet where we haven't had to buy at the deadline because we've had needs. So I'm anticipating that to be the case this year too.
All right, over the weekend, I read some tributes to Ken Kendrick, the owner of the Diamondbacks, and how willing he is to spend and put back into the product, and how maybe he's mellowed a little bit over the years. It occurred to me that the stability you guys have at the top, it's unusual in professional sports, particularly for a regime that hasn't yet cashed that championship, if you will. What does it mean to have that kind of history and that kind of stability with you and Torey and ownership?
Yeah, look, I think there's a value to it. Maybe that's self-interest for me to say that. I think there's a value to it. I do. I think it just transcends down through the organization. The scouting philosophies, the history you have with the employees that are here, because obviously if there's stability with us, there's stability in a lot of cases within the staff and with our scouting ranks and our player development ranks. And I do think in building an organization, especially one where you can't just go out and spend in the free agent market to fix all your problems, in which case, if we were just good at making trades or we were good at actually signing free agents, and that was what we did really well. It's all we really did well. We're not in that market. That's just not the team or the organization that we have. We're not afforded that luxury. We have to be good in almost everything to stay relevant and stay competitive year over year over year. So I think that stability does here. I'm very fortunate for that stability. I'm very fortunate that Ken and Derrick have given us the opportunity to go out and push in, as they have said to me privately, and now you're hearing publicly that, when the team is there, that they feel, and that's my job to produce that for them, the team that has enough talent to continue to put financial investment into, that it was going to be there, and it has been there, and now it's here this offseason, and we're very fortunate for that. I think we have a good baseball team heading into the season, and I'm excited for that, and I hope the fans are excited for that.
Mike Hazen, general manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks, our guest during Newsmakers Week. In terms of one of your prospects, Jordan Lawler has been on the radar for a long time for Diamondbacks fans, still very highly rated prospect. And I know there's some depth that's keeping him off the big league roster potentially, but what do you see best case scenario if everything goes swimmingly for Jordan Lawler? What does 2025 look for him through your eyes, Mike?
Yeah, the depth is not keeping Jordan Lawler off the roster. So I can promise you that. I think the history over the last year or so, he was hurt for the majority of last year. Obviously, he came up in 23 and did a really good job for us at the end of the season. And nothing has changed with regard to Jordan Lawler. And when Jordan Lawler is ready to be on this team, Jordan Lawler is going to be on this team. And we very much feel the exact same way we always have. He's extremely talented. He's an incredible baseball player. He has great makeup and work ethic, and he fits into the fabric of what this organization is going to be. I'm not worried. No team, if you look at the rosters of the teams that we're competing with at the very top of the National League, you're not going to find 9 good players on that team. You're going to find 13 good position players on that team. And that's what we need to shoot for if we're going to stay competitive. And so I'm not worried about what positions we have, what you would consider to be locked down. We have opportunity for good players to come onto this roster at any point in time.
All right, I was talking to somebody who said that artificial intelligence is getting so crazy. We're not that long from being able to put a robot manager in a dugout. Now, I know that's never going to happen, but what I want to ask is the advent of analytics. You know how some baseball fans love to complain about how it's taken the soul out of baseball. Where are we at with analytics as it pairs with artificial intelligence? Is there still frontiers that blow you away? Where are we at with that in the sport of baseball?
We learn more, we know more about the game objectively from all the outside resources that we have, all the information the data that we're collecting. It goes into the decision-making process. Yes, I think from a front office perspective, probably more so than on field sometimes. Just keep in mind one thing. We are playing a game with human beings that need to make adjustments, human beings that need to process this information in order to go out and perform. When there's nothing artificial about the pitcher and the hitter being up there in front of 40,000 people and having to go get a hit. So whatever levels of intelligence, unless you're putting robots on the field, the processing of that information still goes through the human brain, and the execution on both sides of that'll never be replaced, which is a great thing. I think in the dugout, from a decision-making standpoint, there is information that Torey is using that we discuss with him, that from a strategic standpoint, but there's strategy in everything. In the end, so many times Torey will come back in and from a decision and be like, I process and use a lot of this information, but look, my conversation with Zach Gallen about when to take him out of the game or when to leave him in isn't based on any of that. It's between the two people and the trust he has in Zach Gallen. When Zach tells him he's going to get this next guy out, that's why I left him in there. That is every day. So there's no level of intelligence other than the relationship and the trust that's created between those two human beings that goes into some of those decisions. And I think that's the beauty of that is still very much within the fabric of baseball.
Mike Hazen, our guest here on Arizona Sports. It's that time of the morning, Mike, where I ask you the annual bullpen question. Lots of continuity in the bullpen. You just added Kendall Graveman, really effective reliever before he was injured last year. How do you feel about the bullpen right now, and how many times have you been asked about the closer position?
Yeah, I haven't been on with Wolf yet, so I haven't been asked about the closer position yet. I'm sure he will. That's usually his first question from day one to the playoffs. I feel like the bullpen's going to continue to improve. We're going to continue to try to add depth to that spot. There's still opportunity out there to do that. It's probably the one place left in the market where that could happen. Mm-hmm. I think Kendall Graveman is added into the mix of our leverage relievers. I think adding as many of those guys as we can is important. I think we have a lot of young guys that are going to be competing for the front part of the bullpen that may eventually move into the back. That's also exciting. The bullpen is always the area the least definitive I can give you an answer on. Mm-hmm. You never know really where your bullpen's going to be. There's a lot of talent in it. It's all going to come together, where the roles come together, how we end up finishing 7, 8, 9 innings during the course of the season. That's still a little bit up in the air. That's okay. We'll figure that out. We're starting from a good base of talent, from their stuff, swing and miss, ability to get lefties and righties. So I feel good about that. But you know, it's survival out there too, where you are injury-wise in your bullpen. You lose a key piece, it changes roles. All those things, go up in smoke on you sometimes, and you have to readjust. But I feel good at where we're at on day one.
Mike, thanks as always for joining us for Newsmakers Week. Really appreciate the time and the insight.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike Hazen, General Manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks, joining us for Newsmakers Week, which continues. We'll shift our focus to Arizona State athletics. The athletic director himself, Graham Rossini, joining us in studio next here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Burns and Gambo, afternoons.
Would you say the Cardinals' rebuild is ahead of schedule, on schedule, behind schedule? I think the cupboards were really bare. There were some good players left over from the Keim regime. I would say it's on schedule. Okay. And on schedule to me, if you would have asked me when Monty Austin-Fort and Jonathan Gannon took over, what year do you expect them to get this team in the playoffs? I would have said not the first or second year. It's going to be 3.
Burns and Gambo, afternoons 2 till 6 on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Spinato's Pizzeria has been serving up excellence for over a half century in the Valley. Hey, it's Vince Marotta. Yes, Spinato started with one single location in Phoenix in 1974. Now 6 convenient Valley locations in 2025. A lot has changed in those 51 years, but not everything. Spinato's uses only the freshest ingredients in all of their pizzas and other dishes, just like they always have, and every guest is treated like a member of the family. Spinato's Family Kitchen is where it all happens. That's where they whip up their signature sweet sauce, dough, and desserts, and then deliver to all 6 locations to ensure guests are enjoying the same great taste and quality wherever they're enjoying Spinato's. The pizza lineup is legendary. The chicken presto pesto, the Greek, the get meaty, the veg out, or create your own with your choice of regular, cauliflower, gluten-free, or chicken keto crusts. Spinato's does it all. Salads, sandwiches, pastas, calzones, a great happy hour, and an extensive wine, cocktail, and beer menu. North Phoenix, Central Phoenix, Tempe, Scottsdale, Ahwatukee, Gilbert, wherever you are, there is a Spinato's nearby. For info, events, and menus, check Spinato'sPizzeria.com. Spinato's Pizzeria, food that brings people together.
We all got a thing, yes, even you. If you love fashion, car parts, trading cards, whatever you're into, it's on eBay. So go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay, things people love.
The Valley of the Sun will roar to life this spring.
This ought to get pretty wild here.
Why is that, you may ask? Because NASCAR is coming to Phoenix, and it's going to be a weekend of good vibes the whole family won't forget. The best-in-class fan experience meets racing's toughest drivers for 3 days of action on and off the track, all surrounded by the beautiful Estrella Mountains. NASCAR weekend at Phoenix Raceway, March 7th through the 9th. Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
Healthy hearts love longer. They let you be there for all of life's most precious moments, big and small. That's why the expert cardiologists at Dignity Health never miss a beat. They work alongside a cardiology care team to guide you through whatever comes your way. It's our job to keep your heart in tip-top shape so you can be there for whatever greatness comes next. Find your doctor today at dignityhealth.org/azheart. Dignity Health. Hello, human kindness.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Lowe's knows that free is just better. That's why MyLowe's Rewards is free to join. As a member, you earn points towards MyLowe's money on eligible purchases, get exclusive free gifts, and earn free shipping at Silver Key status, all on top of weekly member-only deals. Don't wait. Join MyLowe's Rewards for free today and start saving more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
This President's Day, if you're shopping for a car, truck, SUV, or crossover, certified, pre-owned, or even electric, you owe it to yourself to check out your Valley Chevy dealers. Drive yours away this President's Day. Live life bigger in a new Blazer, or the award-winning Equinox, or the roomy and dependable Trax, where versatility meets agility. Don't miss out on the chance to drive yours away this President's Day. See your Valley Chevy dealers or visit valleychevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Newsmakers Week with Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Arizona State University.
Yeah, we talk ASU athletics with the man in charge of the department. Athletic Director Graham Rossini joins us in studio for Newsmakers Week. Graham, thanks for coming in.
Good to be here, guys.
And I dig that classic Sparky pullover.
Sparky's alive and well.
Yes.
That's the understatement.
Look, I see all the movement. We'll start there. Something frivolous, maybe important to a lot of people.
Yes.
People campaigning for the return of the Sparky logo full-time. Where are we?
Where did Sparky ever go? Sparky's never left.
I know.
I think there's a place for both. You know, the Pitchfork
I agree.
is, 10-plus years old and really has a strong presence. We get a lot of good feedback on it. Sparky's iconic, and a lot of our coaches and athletes love the use of Sparky. And so I think we've got a good balance, and we heard a lot of feedback. It was fun on the football helmets at the end of the season to go classic gold with Sparky on the side, and hopefully we see more of that moving forward.
You've done a remarkable job taking over for Ray Anderson and getting a lot of the alumni and the donors engaged, and I think you've brought a lot to the program that fans were and alumni were really clamoring for. But you've really kind of hit in the sweet spot with the football program here. Now, Kenny wasn't your hire, but you guys seem to be in a really good place. You've locked up the coordinators.
Yep.
You seem to have a real good shared vision here talk about the future of Sun Devil football.
I'm excited about the future of Sun Devil football, and we're both Sun Devils, and I think that's a separator in that you've now got alums leading these key positions, and I love going to work with Kenny. His passion is infectious, his energy is consistent, he's got a great vision, and he has a great ability to connect to his team, connect to his coaches, and we're starting to see that play out. And what excites me is that we have a coaching staff that wants to stay here. We've got guys on the staff that are going to be head coaches. They're going to have a chance to be elsewhere, but they want to spend that extra second or third season at ASU because they understand what we're capable of. And I said this after we won the Big 12. The CFP was a dream for so long, and we're showing that can be a reality here. This doesn't need to be this mystical goal. We've proven that, hey, we can be in this conversation, and we don't want to do it just one and done. We want to be able to continue to invest in this program and make the kind of adjustments and give our coaches the resources to be successful at the highest level. So very excited. And a lot of success in the transfer portal, adding to this roster some great skill players from some of the other big programs in the country, retaining the key pieces that we have coming back. And so we can't wait to get these guys back on the field in March.
And obviously a big part of it, whether it's football or anywhere else, is the new world of college athletics, which you're dealing with every day, right. NIL. And there's been a lot of talk about the health of the NIL program with Arizona State University. Can you give us an update on that?
Yeah, that's been a daily priority for about a year now. And again, we've mentioned it very often. The Sun Angel Collective has been a huge part of that success, just connecting in the community. And where this is going, there's a lot of rules that'll change in July. And NIL is one of those situations where it's going to get more heavily regulated. It's going to be driven by commercial intent and fair market value, and there's going to be a lot more enforcement into it. And so what that means is it's never been a better time, in my opinion, to be a major Power 4 athletic department at a major research university in a metropolitan area like Phoenix, because you've got access to decision makers, you've got access to business leaders, you've got access to companies big and small. And as NIL continues to evolve, that scale and that access to a business community and people that understand the value in a Sun Devil student athlete representing their business, their product or service, it's all there for the taking. We've got access to population to sell tickets. We've got access to companies that can invest in our corporate partnerships. And then we now tap into NIL in a way that we're starting to build this foundation and momentum. It puts us in a really strong position.
Let's move on to the basketball program. They haven't gotten that kind of elevation. Real promising start, but you've had a lot of late game collapses and now the conduct of some of the players and these ejections. It's sort of become a label, an issue, if you will. Your thoughts on this season in progress, and how do you get that basketball program elevated? Yeah,
that's also a priority for us right now. And I think you're seeing a lot of this passion and energy play out. This is a very talented roster. This is a talented coaching staff. And, what we think about a lot is we've been in a lot of these games, maybe other than Florida at the end of the non-conference and BYU starting the Big 12. We've been in every one of these games until the final minutes. And we're talking daily about what are those adjustments and incremental changes that we need to make that in the end of the second half, this team's got that extra push to go and finish the games. It's right there for the taking. It's not like we're getting blown out of these games. We're right there, keeping the emotions in check, keeping these guys connected to one another. I was in the locker room after the heartbreaking loss to TCU over the weekend, and the players are taking the accountability. They're passionate. They want to win. They're trying to hold each other accountable and understanding that it's going to take everybody in that roster to get us across the hump. And so a little bit of a rocky stretch right now. I know there's a lot of conversation out there, but there's strong pieces in place, and our responsibility is, like we did in football, figure out what are those athletic department resources, those changes, those adjustments that help them get on the other side of some of these heartbreaking losses.
Graham Rossini, the athletic director of Arizona State University, our guest here in studio for Newsmakers Week. There was another story that came out about the baseball program, off to a good start, 4-0 under Willie Bloomquist. But the change to full scholarships, 34 full scholarships, as opposed to what's been in place forever, partial scholarships. Is this going to be widespread throughout college athletics? Are you at the forefront of it? Explain more on that subject, if you could.
Well, again, with a lot of these rules that are going to change in the summer, another one of them is that these historical scholarship limits have gone away. And in place, you have roster caps. So baseball is a sport that was north of 40. We'll be down to 34. Football was unlimited. It goes to 105. And so every sport's got a version of a roster cap moving forward. And the NCAA has basically said in this new landscape, if you want to add scholarships, you're able to. And that's the ability of an institution. And so we've looked across the landscape. Obviously, football is going to have 105 scholarships. Baseball is going to go from 11.7, that's been the number since 1991, to 34, and a pathway to have everybody on the roster on scholarship. But we're also looking across the department, and we're prepared to add hundreds of scholarships to all of our sports, because we look at this moment in time where a lot of schools are pulling back resources, and they're determining that we need to take from some sports in order to invest more into football, men's basketball, and some of the more high-profile sports. We want to use this window to get ahead in all of our sports. And you look across, we we have 26. It's the most in the Big 12. But 14 of our 26 are in the top 25 right now. We have 6 programs in the top 10. We have success across the department, and we want to continue to invest in that. And the evolution of college sports is really interesting. This is an unusual time in the industry, but we look at that as an opportunity. And we want to be dominant in football and basketball, but we also want to be dominant in every sport that we're offering. We're not in this for participation trophies. We're not in this to feel good that we offer the sports. We want to develop young people through a very competitive landscape, but we want to win at the highest level. And so we've got incredible support from Dr. Crow, again, adding hundreds of scholarships at a time where some schools are saying, there's schools in our conference that are saying you no longer have scholarships, so we can give it to football, we can give it to basketball. We want to use this window to make that investment and give all of our sports a chance to get ahead and stay there.
All right, the physical footprint of ASU, it's increased by staggering numbers in recent years, new buildings everywhere, new hockey arena. The one thing that hasn't changed is the 52-year-old basketball arena.
Yes.
When does that get addressed?
We're addressing it real time, and we've spent a lot of time in my first year in conversations. We've got some great partners at ASU that are looking at it. We've spent every game. I'm trying to explore that building in different ways, and we're prepared to make an announcement in a couple months. We're probably looking at a multi-year renovation, significant enhancements in the Desert Financial Arena. We've heard a lot of feedback from our fans, and I've said this since day one. We're going to make decisions driven by fan feedback and driven by the things that allow us to enhance a game day in football and basketball, in all of our sports for that matter. And I think there's ways that we can improve Desert Financial Arena. There's some infrastructure improvements that need to be made, but we're also looking at game day and fan experience and that electricity in the seating bowl. When it's full, it's awesome. And we've seen that. It's a really competitive environment. It's loud, it's energetic, but there are some creature comforts. There are some conveniences that it's lacking. It is 50 plus years old, Bick, as you mentioned. And so we're looking hard at how do we use several off seasons to get this thing up to code and have a great, unbelievable college basketball experience right there on the Tempe campus.
I wanted to ask you about the hockey program. Still new kids on the block, but making a lot of noise in a very competitive conference, beating the big boys.
Right.
You get feedback from around the country of how is a team from Arizona making this much noise in collegiate hockey this quickly?
I think it's a perfect fit for how the university operates and taking risks and being innovative and driving outcomes that people didn't expect. And we're number 10 in the nation, and we're in the NCHC, the National Collegiate Hockey Conference. We would argue it's the best hockey conference in America, and we're up against the heavyweights like Denver and North Dakota, and we've got a huge weekend with Western Michigan coming in. We're second place in the conference, they're first place. There's a lot riding on the games this weekend at Mullet Arena. And I think there's an opportunity for us to fill the void with the Coyotes gone right now. And hopefully NHL comes back. We're a big proponent of that in the market. But there is a huge hockey audience in the Valley, as we know. And so if the Sun Devils can enter that conversation and be the highest level of the sport in the Valley and make sure that the next Austin Matthews and Josh Stone are growing up and dreaming of playing the sport, it's incredible. And so sitting here, we get a lot of feedback, right? So we're probably the most unusual top 10 hockey program in America. But a lot of schools are taking notice. And for our coaches to say we're recruiting to an elite university, a great place to live, and now we've got a top flight hockey program playing in one of the best venues in the country, it's been a tremendous success story.
Yeah, a lot of people say they see Coyotes license plates in the parking lot now, so you're tapping into that market and
Absolutely.
that void. All right, last thing, the baseball program, it's got such a great legacy at ASU. Rumor is that, and it's not a rumor anymore, but Pat Murphy is getting reintegrated back in, and it didn't end well for Murph in the school, and we all know the history, but he also produced the Dustin Pedroios, the Andre Ethiers, a great generation of ASU baseball. Where are you guys at in the healing or the reconciliation era?
Well, I spent 8 years with him and loved the man and learned so much from him, and so did Willie. Willie was a part of that 98 team that competed for a national championship. I got to go to 2 Omaha teams in 2005, 2007, and so very familiar with the history of the program and want to get us back to those Omaha conversations. Coach is a dear friend and had a chance to be with him in New York a couple weeks ago when he got his NL Manager of the Year award. Only person in baseball history to be an NCAA Coach of the Year and then go on and win an MLB Manager of the Year award. And so we had him out to hockey a few weeks ago. He dropped a puck. His son Kai, who played in the program, was with him, and we'll get a chance to recognize the 2005 team on March 8th and present him with something to commemorate his Manager of the Year award, and then celebrate the 05 team here in a couple weeks.
Very
so it's just important, the brotherhood of Sun Devil baseball, but all of our sports for that matter. We want alumni back around, whatever their respective program is, and that's the sign of a healthy department, in my opinion.
Graham, thanks so much for making the trip in today. Great to talk to you. We really appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys. Good to be here.
Appreciate it, Graham.
Graham Rossini, the athletic director of Arizona State University, joining us in studio for Newsmakers Week, which continues with the Tuesday Blast. Next, it's Bickley and Murata Mornings here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
You can
can listen to Arizona Sports 98.7 all over Arizona, even when you're out of range of our mighty transmitter that sits atop South Mountain. If you've got Wi-Fi or any cell signal, you can hear Arizona Sports live on the Arizona Sports app. Download the Arizona Sports app, presented by Ready Services Plumbing and Air Conditioning.
My friends that own small businesses are all drowning in tax paperwork this winter. So I tell them to let TaxFile take care of their taxes and just focus on their customers. That's TaxFile with a Y, F-Y-L-E. TaxFile connects small business owners with licensed accountants who sweat the details. TaxFile's customers swear they saved them days of busy work. They say TaxFile was more responsive too. Go to taxfyle.com/radio and get their best offer. Taxfile.com/radio.
How in the world do you know which personal injury firm to choose when there are a million of them out there? Hey, it's Mike Broomhead. Here's why you should choose the attorneys at Sweet James when you're hurt in an accident. Number one, Sweet James used to work defending insurance companies, and so did many of Sweet James' attorneys. They were disgusted by the insurance companies and how they were taking advantage of everyday people at their weakest moments, and now they use their passion, experience, and knowledge to give injured victims a voice. Secondly, they are one of the only firms that have attorneys with experience in over 500 trials. That means they are assembled to take on the big insurance companies and maximize every case so you get the most. They consistently deliver some of the top settlements in the state. It's the compassion for injured victims that drive them to win and win big. If you're hurt in an accident, call Sweet James at 800-9-MILLION. That's 800-9-MILLION. That phone number is 800-900-0000. Or find them online at sweetjames.com. That's sweetjames.com.
Proud partner of your Phoenix Suns.
Southwest Gas supports the lifestyle of Arizonans. Hey, it's Vince Marotta, and whether it's cooking a traditional meal, providing hot water for invigorating showers, or creating the ambiance for family gatherings, Southwest Gas proudly fuels our homes and our communities with a safe and reliable natural gas service. More than 92% of Arizona customers prefer natural gas in their homes to power appliances, but natural gas is more than an essential ingredient in the home. It also supports economic development and growth in our community, and Southwest Gas is right at the forefront of it. Southwest Gas Holdings has been recognized on Newsweek's list of the world's most trustworthy companies, ranking in the top 2% among publicly listed companies worldwide. Time has recognized Southwest Gas Holdings as one of America's best mid-sized companies for 2024 for its commitment to employee satisfaction, revenue growth, and sustainable transparency. Choose an energy partner that prioritizes trust, community, reliability, and safety. You can discover more about these recognitions and learn how Southwest Gas is dedicated to excellence by visiting swgas.com.
In celebration of Arizona being the 48th state of the Union and Ford trucks being #1 in sales for 48 straight years, Sanderson Ford is celebrating President's Day with a presidential sale on 848 new vehicles, many with savings of $4,800 or more.
Save up to $4,800 on Bronco Sport Badlands. Save up to $10,000 off on F-150, STX, and XLT trucks, and save up to $10,000 off on full-size Bronco Badlands. Sanderson Ford also has 25 quality pre-owned vehicles to choose from, priced at $25,000 or less.
Shop with no hassle, no pressure, and no nonsense, and see why Sanderson Ford is America's most awarded Ford dealership for complete customer satisfaction. Don't miss the Sanderson Ford Presidential Sale.
Offers on 2024 models and include Ford rebates, Sanderson discounts, and Conquest cash and flex buy discounts you must qualify for. See dealer for details. All offers expire March 3rd, 2025.
Making choices in the morning can be a bit much. I just want someone to say sausage or egg and cheese biscuit, sausage and cheese or egg and cheese English muffin, small seasoned potatoes, or medium hot coffee. Get 2 for only $3. At Wendy's, fresh made food means simple choices. Dare we say it's even a little fun? Okay, not like roller coaster fun. There's only so much we can do, people. When you want less thinky and more brekky in the morning, gotta be Wendy's.
Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
Right now, somewhere in Arizona, somebody just paid way too much for a new AC unit. Don't let that be you. For the month of February, Precision Air and Plumbing will beat any apples-to-apples conventional quote from any licensed contractor, and we'll give you the #1 ranked installation in the state. Present us with any quote from 2025 and we'll beat it. But act fast. This deal won't last forever. Call us today at 602-FIX-MY-AC.
Precision decision with Precision Air.
KMVP FM Phoenix.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
On the Arizona Sports app and on 98.7.
I'm Fred Khalil with Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. ASU's frustrating season continues tonight at home. The Devils host 21-4 Houston in a Big 12 matchup in Tempe. The Cougars under Kelvin Sampson are playing smothering defense, and they turn that into a fast pace. ASU, meantime, is now 12-13, 3-11 in Big 12 play. Tip-off is 7 o'clock, and you can hear Tim Healy on the call right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. Meantime, Arizona took care of Baylor 74-67. The Wildcats now 18-8, 12-3 in the Big 12 play. Right now, Toby Awaka led U of A with 14. 4 Wildcats finished in double figures, and Arizona hosts BYU on Saturday. The Diamondbacks locked up another member of their core roster on Monday, agreeing to a 4-year, $45 million contract extension with shortstop Geraldo Perdomo. This deal buys out Perdomo's next 2 arbitration years, includes a $5 million signing bonus with a club option for a 5th year. And here's something potentially good for baseball fans. The Diamondbacks are hoping to have some games broadcast on over-the-air television. It's a growing trend around the nation, free TV, and the D-backs want to capitalize. This report is brought to you by APS. Visit APS Solutions for Business for ways to help your business make smarter use of energy while saving money. Schedule a free consultation today.
Bickley and Marotta mornings. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Bickley Blast.
Kevin Durant isn't always a fan of sports fans, and yesterday, after another yucky NBA All-Star game, KD couldn't help himself. He went on social media to complain about basketball fans who, well, complain about everything. And you know who you are. What Durant fails to recognize is that his generation is partly to blame for the mindset of angry, fickle, trollish fans. After all, his generation was the first to decide they were going to earn huge salaries and demand trades. His generation decided how many games they were going to skip during the regular season, spawning load management, 2 of the worst words in the sporting lexicon. He was part of an unprecedented team in Brooklyn that was constructed and dismantled for the very same reason, because key players wanted to be somewhere else, and he is part of the LeBron, Kyrie, James Harden, Kawhi, and Jimmy Butler era, where players make it crystal clear that serving number 1 is priority number 1, and nothing matters more than their own personal happiness. And along the way, they've taken advantage of a very soft, user-friendly commissioner, because none of this would have flown under the heavy hands of David Stern. Bottom line, the truth is this: sports fans used to think it was all about us, that nothing was more important to an athlete than winning a title for their city, and that age of innocence no longer exists, certainly not in the NBA. All right, today's Bickley Blast brought to you by my great friends at Chapman BMW, who make luxury attainable. Find them online at chapmanbmw.com.
Yeah, Kevin Durant, the tweet yesterday, Bick, that you referenced in the blast. I think it's more fun to complain about the NBA than to actually watch it. Crazy. Cancel All-Star Weekend and let's give everybody a break since we're so miserable around this time. And then responding to a response that he got said, I get it. My point is, fans complain about everything. Like, nothing is good enough for the fans right now. The only thing they enjoy is playoffs, trade deadline, free agency, and when players beef with each other. LOL. It is fair to note and accurate to note that in December, when this new All-Star format was released, Kevin Durant was asked about his reaction to it, and he said, I hate it.
He did say that. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
He said, I could be wrong, but...
He said, I'm just another guy with an opinion, but he did say... I'm more of a traditionalist. Let's just do East and West and play a basketball game.
So in the case of the All-Star game, what makes people very, very angry, in my opinion, is they have really, this generation of players has really, really dialed back significantly on the responsibility and obligation of putting together a good product in an All-Star game. They really don't see the point. And I can't say I blame them. When you're a $40 million a year player, you probably would have a hard time being convinced that you want me to play hard in this game?
Yeah.
The problem is, though, and I think Kevin Durant is onto a solution, and that is just to wipe this whole thing right off the face of the sporting calendar and just give the week back to the NBA. You don't have to take time out. Just use that week to stretch out the season a little bit better. Okay, that's an option for me. But I just think that it's it's a little duplicitous, maybe hypocritical to sound off on critics of the game when the game has really, really dropped dramatically in quality.
NBA players don't even treat regular season games like they're real games.
Some
let
don't.
alone an exhibition game.
Mm-hmm. It's true. And it's true. And Vinny brought up a good point earlier that there are many football games that might qualify as very hard to watch. Bad quarterbacks, bad play, real
conservative
offenses, dinking and dunking your way down the field. But every football game has gravity. There's a weight to every football game that carries you through and keeps you interested regardless of the quality.
And it's only once a week, too.
Well, that's it. It's the scarcity of events.
Well, that's where the NBA does fail in a lot of people's eyes, is they haven't created scarcity. There's, Adam Silver made waves earlier, like last month when he said, yeah, we're looking at maybe the model of 40-minute games to
10-minute quarters,
to match closer to what happens in international basketball. And I think for real NBA fans, you think of that and you kind of shudder. Like 82 games, 48 minutes, that's what it was based on. That's what it's all about. Reality-wise now, with the money involved, with the rash of injuries that we see every year, I mean, there's a lot of people that believe that these players are overtrained, that they're training too hard, and that's why their bodies break down. Back in the 80s when guys worked off-season jobs and were flying commercial and playing 4 games in 4 nights, they played 82 games in their sleep. Didn't matter. No. So I appreciate that Adam Silver as a commissioner is very open to sweeping changes. But at some point, how many times can you change an event that almost annually disappoints?
Yeah.
And, you hear Kevin Durant's comments, just cancel it. Other players feel that way. Nikola Jokic said, look, we might as well just get used to it. It's not going away because it's become a television event. And I think that is part of the problem. We know television drives everything, but when an event, and the Super Bowl is getting close to this, by the way, where the event is almost secondary to everything else, that's where you run into problems for quality. And I've never, ever been able to reconcile the fact that the biggest football game of the year to determine a championship is the one where the players' schedules are so altered. Hey, we got to have Kendrick Lamar play the halftime show. So
45-minute halftime.
Instead of a 15-minute halftime that you've been used to your whole lives in this biggest game of your life, you're going to times that by 3. Stay loose.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's and we saw it, I mean, especially with this format, with the All-Star game. I really hope they don't run this one back.
Yeah.
I think
it's
got to be a 2-team affair, however you want to split it up. But, I mean, nobody knew who. I mean, we played that rant from Draymond Green earlier. He was on the telecast, and he was saying this isn't fair to Victor Wembanyama, who got to play 6 minutes. He didn't even know that Victor Wembanyama's team won. He had to be corrected on it. That's how confusing it was.
No, I thought it was a little better than last year, but I thought on whole it still sucked. I turned away from this going, that's another swing and a miss from the NBA. So I don't know what they can do to save it. The trying to copy the NHL's format and maybe involve, that globalist feel of USA versus Europe versus.
Maybe that's what they're keeping, as a last ditch attempt to try to get some nationalism and patriotism involved. But wow.
I don't know. Yeah, wow is right.
I couldn't watch it.
No, and KD is right. Sports fans have become jerkish, but there's a lot of reasons for that as well.
Mm-hmm.
The whole world's become jerkish, if you haven't noticed.
Did you see the rash of people demanding that they get their money back because Chris Paul and Victor Wembanyama got disqualified from the skills challenge?
Were they? Oh, wow.
Yes, they got disqualified. But you bet on a skills challenge at the All-Star game. Where is the mirror?
That's a great call. Yeah. What are you doing?
They sold the mirror to pay off their gambling debts.
Stop gambling.
Coming up next, we continue our Newsmakers Week 2025 busy first day. We will chat with Diamondbacks President and CEO Derrick Hall. Straight ahead here on Bickley and Murata Mornings, Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2.
The Suns got put away during their crunch time. They got put away. They got outscored 15-7, as a matter of fact, in the last 5 minutes of the game. It was tied up 104. They made it a game. They were right there. 104 with 4 minutes and 52 seconds to go. And the Rockets, led by Dylan Brooks, put the nail into the pine box.
The last 2 games have been good losses. The problem is they are one Grayson Allen buzzer beater away against Utah from being on a 7-game losing streak when they need to be winning games.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2 on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Hey, it's Vince Marotta back to tell you about Revitalize Weight Loss and Wellness. And if you have interest in losing weight, it is not hard to get information about the fad diets, about semaglutides, Ozempic. All of those things are out there on a daily basis. But if you want to lose weight naturally and with sustainable results, you really need to know about Revitalize Weight Loss and Wellness. I had tried to lose weight on my own in the past, failed in those pursuits because I didn't have a plan, I didn't have any coaching, and I didn't get any results. So in 2018, I sat down with the world-class nutrition team from Revitalize. They told me about their scientific methodology. They told me about their cutting-edge technology that allows Revitalize to customize nutrition and supplement plans for every individual. I followed my plan to a T. I accomplished my goals. I lost 32 pounds. And now, all these years later, thousands of listeners of this radio show have had similar life-changing results thanks to Revitalize. Their expert staff, bioscan technology, and new health analytics app will remove the guesswork and give you a roadmap of what your body needs to remove inflammation, rebalance naturally, and fix your metabolism. Schedule your no-obligation free consultation now with Revitalize. 480-435-3557 or online at revitalizeweightloss.com.
D-backs fans get access to flexible ticket plans, exclusive events, postseason priority, and more when you become a D-backs Advantage member. For more info, visit dbacks.com/memberships.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now, all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Newsmakers Week with Bickley and Marotta Mornings. The Arizona Diamondbacks.
Now we've talked to manager Tory Lovullo, general manager Mike Hazen early this morning, and now it is time to talk to the president and CEO of the Arizona Diamondbacks. For the first time in a while, Derrick Hall joining us here on Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Derrick, good morning.
Derrick!
Welcome to Newsmakers Week.
Good morning, guys. I wish I was in studio with you eating some of Jared's bagels, but it's nice to see you nonetheless.
There's none left. He He torched them.
He's disgusting.
He crushed them all?
Yeah. That's what he does. That's what he brings to the table. He clears the table is what he brings to the table.
He does.
That's what he does.
Lots to talk about. Let's start with what you and Ken Kendrick were talking about yesterday in terms of the television package this year. The plan to get some games on over-the-air television. Give our listeners an update on all that, Derrick.
Yeah, we certainly hope that works out. We've been lobbying MLB for a while now that we've been with them, with MLB Media, that we should have some games to offer sort of a hybrid over the air so that we can measure what sort of effect and impact it has on our business and on our ratings. We know that it would bring more reach, and I think ultimately that would help our distributors anyways. It would have people want to turn on our games, get in the habit of watching our games, and then go to the normal sources, be it DirecTV or Cox, wherever they watch our games through MLB Media. But we'll see. We're working on that now, and I hope that we're going to have a handful of games, a number of games, anywhere from, say 10 to 20 that we could also simulcast over the air.
You've had to be juggling a lot of different things recently, Derrick. The stadium issue has been among and at the forefront. I also know Mayor Kate Gallego for all the great work she does. I know she's not a huge fan of tax dollars for sports teams and sports owners. How are you threading that needle? Are you guys getting close to getting that model in place where you can recapture some of the tax money and keep Chase Field renovated and relevant and all that good stuff?
I think so, Bick. There's a lot of momentum behind this bill that Representative Jeff Winninger introduced, and both sides of the aisle are showing a lot of support for it. It's a good public-private partnership that we were seeking. It would allow us, with that annual recapture, it would allow us to borrow money from that. We've talked all along about putting, $200 to $300 million of our own money, back into the building itself. It's not creating a new tax. It's taking all of the sales tax and income tax that's generated from Chase Field alone, putting it right back into the fund for Chase Field. And, here we are coming up on 30 years, and the ballpark really needs it. And we've identified at least $400 to $500 million of needs in that ballpark, most of which our fans wouldn't even see. It's a lot of infrastructure. It's fixing concrete. It's pipes. It's having to overhaul that entire HVAC system, as we've talked about the last couple of years. It's a new video board, but we need to enhance the ballpark anyways to bring it up to speed, make it state of the art, have us compete with the other new buildings in the league. You look at these new ballparks, and they are night and day compared to Chase Field, and our fans deserve to have one of the best in baseball, and this will help us do it. We can't do it alone. And I'm thrilled that, Governor Hobbs and our Chief of Staff, Chad Campbell, have been encouraging everybody to keep us at Chase Field. Mm-hmm. They want us to be downtown. They know what an economic juggernaut we can be. And as we're down there and we invest more into the ballpark, we'll get more fans to come to the ballpark. We'll generate even more revenue that'll go back onto the field, the product on the field. And in addition to that, we know that we'll generate even more sales taxes for the municipalities and all the businesses around us.
The last time we talked to you about this subject was at the end of the regular season, Derrick, and there was a very ominous tone looking toward the future. And obviously, there's an optimistic tone today. In your eyes, how much has the tone changed among the parties that have a say in what happens with the stadium?
Yeah, I think it's completely changed. And, it's going to have to be a partnership between the state, the county, and the city, which I've said all along. And this bill does just that. And I think, there is a willingness now with our elected officials, especially the legislators down at the Capitol, to keep us downtown. And there is already a precedent set in Arizona with this model that's working for, the football team and working for State Farm. So I don't think it's something new. And again, the fact that we're not creating any new taxes, the fact that we're going to lift all boats, by investing in the ballpark and in their asset, that public asset, I think it's already proven to be the case with Footprint Center. They have said, the city has said, when they put in those couple $100 million into that arena, they've lifted revenues, and as a result, they've lifted the sales tax around that building. And I think we do the same at the ballpark. But I feel like it is the air or the dark clouds, let's say, have been removed for the most part, Vince.
That's good. And they should be, because I think you guys have proven that you're a very, very excellent community partner, unlike maybe, say, the hockey team that is no longer here, but I digress. All right, I want to ask you what I asked Torey about, and that is sustainability. You guys, from Ken to yourself to Mike to Torey, you guys have been together a long time. and you're still together, and that's very rare for a sports team that hasn't won a championship. Your thoughts on how you got here and how important it is that you guys have that kind of familiarity and that kind of history together?
Yeah, I do think it's important, and I think we're a team. We support one another. We believe in one another. Even through a couple of tough seasons, we didn't make changes quickly. And in the past, I think we were too quick to make changes. I don't think we were patient enough. And I think showing that patience a couple years back paid off. We had a terrible season, and I think most expected there to be changes. We certainly didn't want to make any changes. We believed in those guys. And we got to the World Series a couple years later. I think you have to show that patience if you believe in them. I think, Mike Hazen alone is one of the best general managers in the game. His staff is tremendous. And as he has said, that consistency needs to be there for him and his staff. And for us to keep all those talented employees, it's important that their leadership remains the same. Same with Torey. I mean, he's proven he's gotten better and better every year. He's proven that he's a great leader. When he gets up and speaks, he's got a presence now. His leadership just exudes. I mean, I watched him yesterday in the first meeting, and it was a great meeting, but his tone was good. His message was good. I think these players really enjoy playing for him.
Well, in keeping with the subjects of leadership and continuity, it's bleeding over onto the field. You have a core of players that have been here for a while that are very important to what you do on the field. Geraldo Perdomo is right at the center of that. He gets a new contract, and we talked to Torey about what Geraldo means to this team. I'd love to get your thoughts on the new deal and what Geraldo Perdomo means to Arizona.
Well, I'm thrilled by it, and I heard you guys talking about him this morning, and you really nailed it. I don't think most people know just how much influence he has and impact he has in that clubhouse and in that dugout. He's a fun player to watch on the field. He's great defensively, good speed. He handles the bat well. He's a great eye. He gets long at bats, gets on base with walks when he needs to. But more importantly, he is a leader. He is, arguably the leader on that team, and everybody listens to him. He's not afraid to get in anybody's face, but he's also enthusiastic and fun and funny, and his personality is tremendous. He's just a great character, and he's a great kid, and I'm thrilled that this money and this contract can change his life and his family's life because he deserves it, and he's worked hard to get where he is.
I know Mike Hazen does not like to go here. I want to talk to you about the Dodgers momentarily. You guys have a payroll of $200 million or so, which is fantastic, and that's still about $178 million behind the Dodgers, which kind of illustrates your uphill struggle here in Arizona. Is it time for baseball to do something about this from your vantage point, or are you comfortable as an organization with what strategies you have in place to compete with the Dodgers?
Yeah, Bick, we've got to be comfortable. And we've said in the past, we really only have to worry about ourselves. And, it's the same Dodgers and very similar payroll that we competed against 2 years ago when we went to the World Series. So, you just got to take care of your own business, get to the playoffs, and anything can happen in any series. But they do it right as well. I mean, they're generating a lot of revenue, and they put it back into the product on the field. But they also develop well. They scout well. They're a really good organization, and if we had those kind of revenues, we'd spend it too. I mean, we really would. So no, I'm very happy with what we do with our means, and we are stretching it as much as we can. In fact, yesterday, to start the meeting, Ken was introduced first, and he got up, and the whole room was applauding him, all the players and coaches. And I got up after that, and I said, that's the first time this room has clapped for Ken Kendrick. He must be spending a lot of money, which is true and telling. But I was very happy for Ken.
That's fantastic.
Lastly, Derrick, I'll just ask this question: are you glad you work in a sport where the biggest complaint about the All-Star game is the uniforms?
Our All-Star game it's a traditional one. It's really the first of its kind, and it's the Midsummer Classic, and I think it still works, right? We've had to tweak it as well. I mean, we've done things in the past where the winner's going to get home field advantage for the league. That didn't work. We had to change it. I think people still enjoy our All-Star game, tuning in and watching, it's a thrill to be named an All-Star, I think, in any league. But especially in Major League Baseball, because it's a huge honor. It says you had a tremendous first half, and also it's decided upon by both the fans and the organizations and players.
All right, lastly, we know that Rob Manfred has kind of announced that he's not going to be doing the gig forever. Are you interested in maybe recycling a run for commissionership, Derrick?
Bick, I love what I'm doing. I love where I'm at, and I can't see myself doing anything else. You've been a big supporter of that in the past. I appreciate it. And we'll just focus on Rob and the upcoming CBA in the next couple of years and keeping this game growing and healthy and the speed up rules and the new technology. I think we're heading in the right direction. So let's just keep it going the way it is.
Derrick,
all right, D, thank you.
Always a pleasure to talk to you. Thanks for joining us today for Newsmakers Week.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
You too. Derrick Hall, president and CEO, and not commissioner candidate now.
Well, I don't know if he shut the door on it. I thought that was very well skated around.
Yeah. Well,
he'd be a fabulous commissioner of Major League Baseball. Fabulous. I've been saying it for years. Who would be better than him?
Right.
Even before Manfred got the job.
Yeah.
You were on that.
His answer was like, if you asked me while I was eating a bagel, he said, "Would you like this slice of pizza?" It's like, well, I'm enjoying what I'm eating right now. It doesn't mean I'm not going to have the slice of pizza after.
That's very well said, Derrick. That might be the most poignant thing you've ever said on this show.
You're never better than when pulling a food analogy. Something about it really clicks for you.
Thank you.
Hey, you talk about what you know. Thanks to Derrick Hall for joining us. Coming up next is the eventual NBA champion, currently in 10th place in the Western Conference. Somebody thinks so. We'll get into that and more next. It's Bickley and Murata Mornings here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
You can't use the old excuse about not having enough storage because we know you've got the cloud. Download the Arizona Sports app and keep it on your home screen for breaking sports news, all the Arizona sports shows and podcasts, plus listen to the Suns, D-backs, ASU athletics, and more on your phone. The Arizona Sports app is presented by Ready Services Plumbing and Air Conditioning.
These days, it feels like everyone is talking about how the American dream of homeownership has become out of reach for so many of us. Well, Rocket is trying to give us more of a chance to own our homes. They're making homeownership simpler and more accessible to more people, turning renters into owners. Rocket believes that every one of us deserves a shot at the American dream. So, are you ready? Own the dream. Visit Rocket.com or call 800-4ROCKET.
Hey, Mom, I've been meaning to talk to you about some new COVID information I saw online. I read that black folks like us with certain conditions like diabetes, heart disease, mental health conditions, or being 50 and older, like you, are at high risk.
Boy, you sound like a commercial.
I'm just saying. I know you love your ginger teas and essential oils, but remember, there are treatment options for COVID-19.
I promise if I get sick again, I'll call my doctor to ask about my options.
Visit WeTalkWeRise.com to learn more. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Global Credit Union. Everything a bank offers, but better. Dave Burns here. With Global Credit Union, you'll see benefits you might not get at a traditional bank. And my favorites, early access to direct deposit funds. You can use your direct deposited paycheck up to 3 days in advance. So treat yourself to better banking this holiday season. Stop into one of their 12 branches or go to globalcu.org to open an account today. Global Credit Union, your world of financial possibilities. Free checking and no monthly maintenance fee. Only apply to core checking accounts. Direct deposit required for early payday. Other fees may apply.
Homeowners, believe it or not, there are agents who will promise you an unrealistic sales price just to get your business. Not me. I'm Carol Royce with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty, and I will provide you an upfront written guarantee that if I, Carol Royce, can't sell your home for 100% of market value, I will pay you the difference. If you've been wanting to sell your home, don't settle for anything less. Call me today or visit carolhasthebuyers.com.
Terms and conditions apply. Hey, you know what's our new favorite escape? Our backyard. Yep, Paul Calvisi here inviting you to do what we did and get a backyard makeover by California Pools and Landscape. Man, we're loving it. CPL has served the Valley since 1988. They build over 36,000 pools. Discover the advantage of working with America's #1 pool builder. Award-winning designs and craftsmanship, industry-leading warranties, competitive financing offers. To see my backyard makeover and schedule your free estimate, visit calpool.com/Paul.
The Renaissance Festival is back. Weekends now through March 30th. Be ready to have a great time. Amazing adventure awaits the entire family. New shows, shopping, jousting nights, non-stop feasting. Leave your cares behind. Happiness reigns at the Renaissance Festival. It's fun and affordable. You'll love the Renaissance. Visit now through March 30th. Discount tickets available at Bashers' and Food City or online at arizona.renfestinfo.com. Presented by Delta Airlines, Bashers', Food City, Pepsi, Budweiser, and Guinness. Huzzah!
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now, save 50% on the new Sleep Number Limited Edition Smart Bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
It's a classic odor tale. You fried fish for dinner, cleaned up, but the smell is still in the house. And the neighbors are coming over for game night. They're on their way. And then you spray Febreze Air Mist. Febreze Air starts working instantly to fight even your toughest odors, so you go from fish to fresh like that. Now all you have to worry about is Pam cheating at charades.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
So you're in pretty decent shape, but okay, as we get older, we lose a step. Totally natural part of being a guy. And at Vital for Men, we got your back by helping you get it back. Testosterone replacement therapy is designed to make you feel powerful, sharp, and renewed. Get started today with a free test at one of our 3 Valley-wide locations. And on top of that, we're excited to offer semaglutide to support your health journey even further. Visit Vital4Men.com today. Vital, the number 4men.com. It's time to get it back.
I'm Fred Khalil with Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. The Diamondbacks have been successful in part because of a stable roster. One of the keys to long-term success is keeping young talent locked up. Monday, the Diamondbacks agreed to terms with shortstop Geraldo Perdomo on a 4-year extension worth $45 million with a reported club option for a 5th year. The deal kicks in next season. A switch-hitting shortstop, Perdomo hit .273 with 21 doubles last year. He's only 25 years old, and the move by the Diamondbacks buys Perdomo out of arbitration, keeps him here in Phoenix. It's one less thing to worry about. In college basketball, ASU will host the 21-4 Houston Cougars tonight in a Big 12 matchup in Tempe. ASU head coach Bobby Hurley says the Sun Devils have reached a premium frustration level. ASU is 12-13 and 3-11 in Big 12 play. You can hear all the action right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 with Tim Healy on the call. It is a 7 o'clock tip-off. Meantime, the U of A picked up a nice win on the road at Baylor, 74-67. The 19th-ranked Wildcats will host BYU Saturday in Tucson. This report is brought to you by Morris Hall Estate Planning. Major estate tax increases are coming. Don't regret not planning ahead. The attorneys at Morris Hall can help you maximize what you leave behind for your loved ones. For a complimentary consultation, visit morristrust.com today.
Come on. I'm burning. Come on. Come on.
Arizona Sports. Floor Burns with Bickley and Murata.
Where's the docket? Where's the straight?
We're going to win the championship.
Say that one more time so that everybody here can
say that with your chest.
I
didn't hear you. My earpiece. Because they added Jimmy Butler III. So what did you say? 81. I'm sorry. I said I think we're going to win a championship, but I lied. We are going to win the championship.
Wow. There might be more people talking about Draymond Green's comments during All-Star Weekend than the actual All-Star Weekend at this point. Whether it was ripping the league for being boring, whether it was ripping the new format, or that proclamation.
That proclamation, though.
Golden State Warriors are going to win the championship this year, Bick.
That is next level.
Yes.
Seriously. The idea that he feels so invigorated by the addition of Jimmy Butler that during an All-Star game broadcast, you go out there, you put that out there. And that to me is very interesting. What? No,
I just want to point out again, he was in front of the home crowd, the Warriors' home crowd in San Francisco. So he was, to say that if he was in, L.A. or in Boston or something, it might have been different.
But I don't necessarily think that statement is different in a different locale from Draymond Green. Knowing the guy who said it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you've got a point. There's something to be.
He might have liked it even more if it was in L.A. and he said we're going to win it this year in front of the Lakers fans. We wondered, and look, we had a lot of time to pour over every potential detail or effect of a Jimmy Butler trade, landing him in Phoenix, what it would be. And one of the questions we asked was, does Jimmy Butler really fix what's wrong with this team? Some of it, yes. From a toughness standpoint, from an alpha standpoint, we talked about all of those things, but there's so many basketball deficiencies on the Suns roster. Could he fix those? We saw the Golden State Warriors play the Suns on a Friday night, about a week before the deadline. It was 6 days before the trade deadline.
Mm-hmm.
They looked like a team dead in the water. It was one of the Suns' easier victories of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Steph Curry himself looked, disengaged, disinterested, and quite frankly, not as good a player.
Yeah.
And Draymond Green to feel that invigorated with another alpha, and he's talking about, I'm going to follow Jimmy Butler and I'm going to follow Steph Curry and we're going to win it. I mean, just the verbalization of that is remarkable after 4 games of Jimmy Butler being one of the most disgruntled athletes we've seen in a long time and having that positive an effect early. I don't know how much of this is just, flapping his lips, but I think he believes it.
I think he does too. Yeah, if he didn't believe it, that would be a reckless thing to say, regardless of where you said it. So I do believe that he believes it, and part of me really feels I don't know what I've got a lot of mixed feelings about this because that's exactly how I anticipated Jimmy Butler hitting the Phoenix Suns, and as Jared has pointed out a couple times, what is the point of being mad about it if you could never have consummated the trade? But that's exactly what gets me mad. What gets me mad is that after all this maneuvering and of all this spending, you get yourself into an apron where the guy you really need really wants to be there, and you can't make it happen because you done outspent yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you've spent yourself into a corner.
It's getting mad in a different way because usually fans get mad because, why didn't you go out and get this player that would have helped us so much? Well, we know they did everything they could to try to get that player, and they just couldn't do it.
And then some.
Yes, they did stuff they probably shouldn't have done to try to get that player.
But I also brought this up earlier, is that Golden State is a game and a half ahead of the Suns right now. The Suns have been a disappointment. There's no doubt about it. There was one, I think it was The Athletic, who did first half grades for every team. The Suns got an F. It's not very good. But listen to the difference in tone. Draymond Green's on TNT talking about we're winning a championship this year because we're bolstered by Jimmy Butler. Kevin Durant sat down with NBA TV, and he was asked, hey, what do the Suns need to fix after the All-Star break to get back into the mix?
Yeah, it's been disappointing for sure. I don't want to hide from that fact. I think fundamentally if we become a better rebounding team and that'll help our defense more. I think we do a good job of initially getting stops, but it's hard for us to, when it's hard for us to rebound, it's hard for us to finish plays and become a good defensive team. So if there's one thing I had to pinpoint is that, and once we get that under control, I think the rest of our game will start to flourish.
I don't disagree with anything Kevin Durant just said, but
either do I.
That's a major fix. That you just don't wave a magic wand at. And when you're talking about fundamental issues with 28 games remaining in a season, that is not a spot you want to be.
That's very, very well said. When you compare and contrast the levels of belief, what Kevin Durant just said is that's an insurmountable issue for this basketball team. The idea that we can only survive through the first action defensively, and by the time the shot goes up, we're too small to get the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of serious structural issues.
Well, it's not just the small thing either. They are small.
Yeah.
They're not, as structured, not a great rebounding team on paper. But a lot of those contested rebounds that are 50-50 balls just don't seem to go the Suns' way. And when that continues, it's more than a coincidence.
It's an example of effort and focus and stick-to-itiveness and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's going to be real interesting to see what this basketball team looks like now coming out of the All-Star weekend. Buckle up. Could go any number of ways.
It starts out, too, with a pretty tough 4-game road trip. So, there's going to be a lot of time that elapses between games in downtown Phoenix for this team. I've used the phrase before. How many more games? I was talking to a Suns fan last night. He says, I'm giving them 12 more games. And I said, wow, you're pretty patient, pretty forgiving. And he said, if there's no change in the 12 games, I'm giving up. I was like, well, a lot of people have already reached that level.
I think they have. I think there are some diehards hanging on, but I think for the most part, people have seen the proverbial writing on the wall. And I'll always hope for miracles, but I just don't see this team mounting any serious resistance.
We've teamed up with Michelob Ultra to bring you the Ultra Suns fan experience. Head to the contest page at arizonasports.com for your chance to win lower-level tickets to see the Suns take on the Warriors, along with an exclusive pregame experience. That's the future NBA champion Warriors, by the way. I was told. It's the Ultra Suns fan giveaway. It is presented by Michelob Ultra. Coming up next, we'll talk college hoops of the ASU variety. Newsmakers Week continues with the weekly visit from Bobby Hurley, ASU men's basketball coach next. Bickley and Murata mornings here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
What I'm excited about is how this team molds and forms and comes together from this day moving forward.
Spring training coverage presented by Estrella Jalisco and Window Depot. Nobody brings you more D-backs than we do. The home of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
All right, a couple of true stories from Life Changer Loan. One of our listeners, a self-employed single mom in the landscape business, far from wealthy, but very responsible with her money. She owed $490,000 on her home. It's 2.75%, 30-year fixed-rate mortgage. Now with the Life Changer Loan, she's going to pay off her home in just over 4 years. She's going to save $110,000 in interest. Another one of our listeners in the pool business. His wife stays at home with their young kids, far from wealthy, but again, very responsible with their money. Owed over $500,000 on their home at 6.5%. Now with the Life Changer Loan, they're going to pay off their home in 8 years. They're going to save over $490,000 in interest. That is truly a life-changing event. Life Changer Loan, an innovative program where you do your banking inside your mortgage. You pay all principal first. You get 24/7 access to your equity, all sorts of cool things. You've got to have the right financials. This is not for everybody, but if you're a good fit, I guarantee you're going to love the results. Find out more at 480-504-0844, online at lifechangerloan.com.
Real stories with Hellsberg.
After we met and we started dating, Nancy and I lived 150 miles apart, and I would drive my old jalopy car, and it was roughly a 3-hour distance. It took 3 years I drove across that state, back and forth, dating her every weekend.
Persistence.
And I would have never stopped. I had a lot of energy back then, 36 years ago.
At Hellsberg, find the engagement ring worthy of your story. Designed with the love, care, and craft it deserves. Visit a Hellsberg store or hellsberg.com.
This President's Day, if you're shopping for a car, truck, SUV, or crossover, certified, pre-owned, or even electric, you owe it to yourself to check out your Valley Chevy dealers. Drive yours away this President's Day. Live life bigger in a new Blazer, or the award-winning Equinox, or the roomy and dependable Trax, where versatility meets agility. Don't miss out on the chance to drive yours away this President's Day. See your Valley Chevy dealers or visit valleychevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Check it out. At Gila River Resorts and Casinos, no one does it better. So, make a splash. Taste all the flavors. Pop in bottles all night long. And shake it till you break it. However you do you. No one lets you take it to a legendary status like we do. Gila River Resorts and Casinos. You do you.
Why do Arizona businesses across the valley choose to work with Flex Technology Group? Well, as the largest office technology solutions and managed print service provider in the nation, we help businesses of all sizes improve efficiencies, optimize workflows, and identify cost savings across the business. Visit flextg.com today to discover all the ways we can help impact your business. Flex Technology Group, your trusted partner in managed print. Learn more at flextg.com today.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
This
This is the Sun Devil Fast Break with ASU men's head basketball coach Bobby Hurley. The Sun Devil Fast Break is presented by Bar S Foods.
Yeah, Sun Devils in action tonight. Another Big 12 matchup and another tough one. 5th-ranked Houston coming to town to take on the Sun Devils at Desert Financial Arena. Here for his weekly visit, the head coach of the Sun Devils, Bobby Hurley, joins us here on the Arizona Sports Line. Bobby, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Let's go back to Saturday. Premium frustration level was the pull-out quote from that game. You lose another close game. And I'm looking back at the schedule, and it's been about 6 weeks since you guys have been really out of a basketball game, in my opinion. That was the second half against Kansas after you played a great first half. I mean, let's just start here. In all your years of coaching, have you ever seen a run like this where just one play can get you over the top and it just doesn't happen?
I haven't. So, yeah, it was – I mean, I think we could even take one step further back than to the TCU game and just look at the Texas Tech game. I mean, we were one rebound away from beating the number 12 team in the country on their home court. And, we had 90 points in regulation, ended up with 106 for the game. I've had people, colleagues, friends in the business text me as one of the best games they've watched, all season in college basketball. That's what we're capable of at our best. I think a couple of nights later to come back, home and play TCU, we were not nearly that same team. And, we weren't in the game for large stretches, but showed, a lot of determination to get back in the game. I thought, Amir Ali had some really nice moments as a freshman. Sean Phillips has taken another step. He was great in huddles like late in the game, just, urging the team to keep fighting. It was unfortunate how the game played out. We had got it to a tie game, and they make a three-point shot where literally the ball just hits the heel and then just dies on the basket and falls in somehow. And we go down 3 and then commit a poor, violation on the end line. And so there's just been things that have happened that are out of the norm.
All right, so out of the 11 conference losses, I count 8 of them that could have been winnable games. As a head coach, what problems do end game failures to that degree create? What kind of things do you have to deal with in situations like this?
I think it's more like psychological than anything else. If you're in a lot of tight games or you're just accustomed to winning, then you find ways to win. And sometimes when things are snowballing on you and not going well, whether it's not enough confidence, enough belief, that you just don't find a way to get the job done. And I think that's where we're at. If I could pinpoint there being one reason that we lose, then it would be easier to identify. But it seems like it's been free throws. It's been a costly turnover at the wrong time. Mm-hmm. It's been our inability to get a defensive rebound in a timely moment, like maybe the end of the Texas Tech game or the Arizona game where it was still a one-possession game and we gave up like 3 on one possession. So I think it's been multiple things, so it's harder for us to just say, hey, guys, if we just do this, then we'll find a way to break through.
Bobby Hurley, head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils, our guest here on the Arizona Sports Line. The other trend that's going on and people are talking about, Bobby, as you well know, is this rash of ejections. And I'll even excuse the first ejection in this, B.J. Freeman getting ejected against Colorado, I thought was, by the letter of the law, an ejection, but there was no intent there. No. But the last 3, is, in your mind, is that just the frustration of the situation building and the players just not being able to keep their emotions in check?
Yeah, it's the frustration. Adam Miller is one of my favorite guys I've coached. And if you got to know Adam, the person he is, you would not associate the things that have gone on the last couple of times with him at home and the person that he is. So that's where there's a little bit of disconnect for me, and I understand that we all have to control ourselves better and do a better job. And I think in a big way he feels worse about it because he knows that it's affecting his teammates and our ability to win by not having him. So I think it's just about me having those conversations with him, and he kind of gave me he let me know that he would be there the whole game tonight. So that was comforting to hear that from him yesterday.
That is good to know. Now, perception and reality, the lines can get blurred, and there are some who have suggested, in fact, I read a piece in azcentral.com recently that said because you are so combustible on the sidelines that maybe it leads players to be that way. What do you think of that criticism?
That's a weird, because I've purposely tried to be calmer and less demonstrative with the officials like the last 5 or 6 games. And so I think I was far worse earlier in the season where we were having no problems. I think this is completely hey, we had certain expectations, certain hopes based on how we performed in the non-conference to be far better than we are right now. And we all are doing everything we can to win, and it's not happening. And some guys are running out of time, and you're seeing it's more of the older guys who are getting very frustrated because this is their opportunity to play in the NCAA tournament, and we're watching that slip away because we've been unable to close these games.
Bobby Hurley, Arizona State head coach, our guest here on Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Another tough one, such as life in the Big 12 with Houston coming in tonight. Is there any update on the availability of some of your players? Any update on Jaden Quaintance at this point, Bobby?
Yeah, everybody is good to go. BJ did not practice yesterday. He was sick. So, I mean, there's something that's been going through our team at different periods of time here. I'll check on his availability at shoot-around this morning at 11. Jaden Quaintance, did quite a bit yesterday in our practice, and I'm shocked that he's this advanced based on what he looked like after the Oklahoma State game. Wow. Literally about 10 days since that game, but he's been super focused on his rehab stuff, and he's done a great job. And I guess it's great to be young and 17 and heal quicker, but he's really close. Will it be tonight? I don't know, but he's certainly getting there.
All right, one of the things that I admire about you is you're in a 52-year arena. You see a hockey program move into a campus. They get a brand-new facility, and yet you have never made this an issue. Graham was in here earlier today and said there might be some exciting news. He wouldn't fully tip his hand, but he mentioned something about an announcement and renovations. That would have to be exciting, I would expect.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be something for, just the fan experience. And, I hear more of me worried about, I get my team ready to play. It doesn't matter where we are. I mean, we could be in North Korea trying to play, and I'll get the team ready to play. So I don't focus on the arena as much as other people would imagine. And I just try and get the guys ready to perform. And we haven't done a great job at all of playing well on our home court. It's been very disappointing. It's been the last couple of years, and I can't put my finger on why we play better, away from home. We played the way we did versus Texas Tech on the road in a hostile environment, and we come here and we play like a shell of the team that we were in that game against TCU. So we got to figure out how to play better here. But I'm excited to hear news like that for sure.
Yeah, well, here's hoping that tonight's the night that you get it all together against a really good team, Bobby. We'll talk to you next Tuesday.
Sounds good, guys.
Thanks,
Bobby.
Bobby Hurley, head coach of the Arizona State Sun Devils, joins us every Tuesday for his weekly visit on the Arizona Sports Line. Coming into the home stretch, the 9 o'clock hour, we will speak to the president of Phoenix Raceway, Latasha Ci, coming up at 9:15. But the hour starts
with Jared Carlin.
Yay. Social Studies is next. It's Bickley and Marotta Mornings here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
You've been listening to the Sun Devil Fast Break with ASU men's head basketball coach Bobby Hurley. The Sun Devil Fast Break was presented by Bar S Foods.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2.
It sounds like there might be a little bit of a revelation from Jordan Montgomery here. And if he really did get to work and worked hard, this is a guy, once again, whose track record is pretty solid.
Well, yeah, last year was such an outlier. On the one hand, it is so unlike the rest of his career that it would be easy to just write it off. But on the other hand, it is his most recent season.
Wolf and Luke, middays 10 to 2. Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Get a debit card with real class.
Desert Financial is now the official retail banking partner of ASU. When ASU fans open a free checking account, they can show their Sun Devil spirit and their Arizona pride with one of 3 new ASU debit card designs. Stop by one of our new branches at ASU Tempe and downtown Phoenix campuses, or visit desertfinancial.com/sundevils.
Hey Sun Devil fans, college basketball is back, so grab your friends in a cold, refreshing Dos Equis lager and make the most of game day. Whether you're at the bar with fellow Sun Devils or watching with your friend who went to that other school, Dos Equis is there for it all. So buy a cold, crisp Dos Equis and get those forks up on game day. Dos Equis, proud partner of the Arizona State Sun Devils. Get a dose. Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2022, imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Get your forks up, Sun Devil fans, because Bar S, the #1 selling hot dog brand in America, is now a proud partner of Sun Devil Athletics. From hot dogs and sausages to bacon, ham, turkey, corn dogs, and more, Bar S offers an all-star lineup of delicious mealtime and game time meats. Grab one of the new mild or spicy Bar S Sun Devil sausages next time you're at the arena, and head to your nearest grocery store to score some Bar S today. Bar S, a proud partner of Sun Devil Athletics.
Hi, it's Dominic with Venezia's Pizzeria. I've got news for you. Not all pizzas are created equal. We make the best pizza using the best quality ingredients.
At Venezia's, we take pride in making great pizza. We use our family recipes, savory sauces, premium mozzarella cheese, choice pepperoni, and authentic Italian sausage. And always, always fresh toppings, all served on freshly made dough.
Quality pizza available for dine-in, takeout, or delivery. Venezia's Pizzeria, a family tradition.
In celebration of Arizona being the 48th state of the Union and Ford trucks being #1 in sales for 48 straight years, Sanderson Ford is celebrating President's Day with a presidential sale on 848 new vehicles. Net A with savings of $4,800 or more.
Save up to $4,800 on Bronco Sport Badlands. Save up to $10,000 off on F-150, STX, and XLT trucks. And save up to $10,000 off on full-size Bronco Badlands. Sanderson Ford also has 25 quality pre-owned vehicles to choose from, priced at $25,000 or less.
Shop with no hassle, no pressure, and no nonsense, and see why Sanderson Ford is America's most awarded Ford dealership for complete customer satisfaction. Don't miss the Sanderson Ford Presidential Sale.
Offers on 2024 models and include Ford rebates, Sanderson discounts, and Conquest cash and flex buy discounts you must qualify for. See dealer for details. All offers expire March 3rd, 2025.
Every day, safe, prepared, informed. Every day, safety is our top priority. At APS, we consistently make updates to our electrical system to keep our crews and customers safe around electricity. Remember these tips. Put safety covers on wall outlets. Call 811 before you dig to have the location of underground wires marked. And stay at least 100 feet away from downed power lines. For more ways to stay safe around electricity, visit aps.com/brighter.
If you have old windows, they are probably driving up your energy bills. Upgrade with new windows from the Window Depot. The Window Depot provides unbeatable value and a wide variety of in-stock and custom order windows to fit your style and budget. With our exclusive SI window brand made right here in the USA, you'll get a full lifetime warranty, including glass replacement, for ultimate peace of mind. Order online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you and start your project today. Experience the best prices, the biggest inventory, only at the Window Depot.
Lose weight easier and faster with Red Mountain Weight Loss. Discover the power of semaglutide and tirzepatide, the breakthrough GLP-1 medications that are transforming lives. You lose up to 15 pounds a month without feeling hungry or deprived. And for a limited time only, save $100 on any GLP program and get our lowest prices of the year. Don't wait. Lose up to 15 pounds by this time next month only at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Go to redmountainweightloss.com.
KMVP FM Phoenix.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
On the Arizona Sports app and on 98.7.
I'm Fred Khalil with Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons. Heating, cooling,
plumbing, and electrical. In professional sports, one of the keys to long-term success is keeping young talent on your side, and that's exactly what the Diamondbacks have done. Monday, the team agreed to terms with shortstop Geraldo Perdomo on a 4-year extension worth $45 million. The D-backs have a club option for a 5th year. It kicks in next season and includes a $5 million signing bonus. The switch-hitting shortstop hit .273 with 21 doubles. He's only 25 years old, and the move should keep the Diamondbacks in contention for a championship run. They've locked up a core group that includes Corbin Burns, Zach Gallen, Ketel Marte, and now Perdomo. Well, a season that began with high hopes has become one of disappointment for ASU, as the Sun Devils, now 12-13 and 3-11 in the Big 12, play host to number 5 Houston tonight. The Cougars are 21-4. They lead the nation in scoring defense, while the Devils, on a 5-game losing streak, according to Bobby Hurley, have reached a premium frustration level. You can hear tonight's Houston ASU game here on Arizona Sports 98.7 in the app with Tim Healy on the call, 7 o'clock tip. Houston beat Arizona Saturday, but last night U of A handled Baylor 74-67. The Cats, which had fallen 8 spots in the national rankings to 19, are now 18-8 overall and 12-3 in the Big 12, good for second place. The Suns are off until Thursday when they play the Spurs in San Antonio, and Team USA Hockey will face Canada in the championship game of the Four Nations Faceoff. This report is brought to you by Brooklyn Betting. The President's Day sale has been extended. Get 30% off in-store and online through February 25th. Find a showroom today or go to brooklynbetting.com.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Bickley and Marotta Mornings. Social Studies. Brought to you by HigherPrice.com. Carol Royce, your home sold guaranteed realty.
9 o'clock hour is here. Time for some social studies with Jared Carlin, who I saw him being responsible. He was cleaning up the lenses. There should be no vision problems at all during this version of social studies.
Crystal clear,
right?
Calm, cool, and collected. This is...
Stop squinting, Jared!
Yes. This is the rush hour... this is social studies. We're all across social media. Bickley _Marotta on Twitter/X. Bickley and Marotta on Blue Sky, where our audience is growing. Facebook, Instagram. You can follow us, interact with us, see videos, poll questions from the show, and be a part of social studies right here. Now, we will start with the NBA All-Star Game and the All-Star Weekend and all the stuff that sort of everyone was left a little underwhelmed by this past 3-day weekend. And I'm asking you, these are some options that have all been suggested, or give us your own if something isn't there. Okay. How would you fix/change the NBA All-Star Game, or do you like the new format? Would you go to a 1-on-1 tournament? Would you go to a 2-on-2 tournament? Would you go to USA versus the world? Or would you return to East versus West, which of course it was for many, many, many years before recent?
Mm-hmm. Of those choices,
or keep the current format, or if you have something better.
No, the current format sucks. We can agree on that.
No doubt about it.
I would go back to, I mean, ultimately I'm an East versus West guy. But I think I would rather see them try the USA versus the world once, just to say they tried it.
Right.
And maybe they catch lightning in a bottle, but that's where I'd vote now.
Now, I wonder if there would be a way to kind of divvy it up where you can get 4 different teams. See, the way hockey did it, they didn't try to go full global representation. I wonder if you could go, because France is where the basketball revolution is happening now.
Yeah.
You talk about countries like Argentina, they used to have a great program. Spain still has a really good program. Could you do something where it would be Europe? I don't know. I don't know how you would divvy it up, but I think that's the way to do it because the desire for foreign contingencies to beat the USA, especially now with the global political climate, would force Team USA to play hard. But then people would say, but that's what we have the Olympics for.
Yeah, I would think that even if you just went USA versus the world, I think the world team, it would be tough to fill out an entire roster. There are a lot of very good players from the world. It's still overwhelmingly American players in the NBA.
I can't believe how far off base I think you are in saying that.
Okay.
The world would have trouble fielding a roster?
With all-star worthy players, yes.
That's unbelievable. Really? You really believe that?
I mean,
I don't.
I'm just going off the top of my head. I mean, the top, 6 or 7 players
Team
are
USA,
fantastic.
go back to the Olympics. Team USA struggled with a team from France.
Just
one country.
Yeah, but those players aren't NBA All-Stars. I'm saying if you'd have to, with under the same guys, that these are people worthy to make the All-Star team this season from the NBA, not just taking international players from out the world.
No, I don't think that's how you do it. I think you let each team decide who is going to represent them. But you would have to have, the All-Stars are going to be included in that mix.
Maybe there's just the All-Star designation, and if you were going to do the international thing, you do it like the NHL
Like the NHL does it?
That's it.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see. Well, right now, believe it or not, returning to East versus West is winning by quite a large margin in this poll. 52.5%. People forget how bad the regular All-Star game was also during the last decade of it. But that's leading. 32.8% want to go to USA versus the world. 7.3% want to go to 2-on-2 or 1-on-1, which I'm surprised. I thought both of those sound kind of interesting to me. Do you remember years ago they were going to do Akeem Olajuwon versus Shaq in a 1-on-1 pay-per-view special? Does that ring any bells?
Vaguely.
And then I think one of them got injured right before and they canceled it. Brought to you by Taco Bell.
That's the big part, yeah.
So Kevin Durant went to Twitter and said that sports fans, especially NBA fans, complain about everything nowadays. So I put out, what is your biggest complaint about sports right now and why?
It never stops. No, I'm just joking.
That's you, Jarrett.
My biggest one has to do with fans and how fans interact with each other about sports now. It's the difference of opinion on sports has become toxic now.
They become a tribalism.
Yes. I've run into this more in the last year and a half than ever before in doing this job.
Yeah.
If you say something that you believe in and it's something somebody doesn't agree with, they flip a narrative on you. I don't want to give examples because it'd be too transparent, but
yeah, I definitely agree with that.
If you say something, give an opinion, and it's in difference to somebody else's opinion, you're an idiot.
Well, sports debate used to be the best kind of debate. You could, have different opinions on sports, and it was fun to talk about it. Now, Dan, as you've always pointed out, it's kind of become like politics, where you can't even talk to someone about it because you're just arguing and nobody changes their thoughts.
And there's also that element of it, the element that a lot of politically driven people and organizations, they are now seizing on sports to further divides, right? There's a whole group of political-based critics of the NBA who are doing it for that very reason.
Yeah, but I think we've probably gone down that road in a lot of other areas too, like movies, music. You ever got in a fight with somebody over their personal music taste? I used to do that, and I thought about it. They like what they like. I like what I like.
Why do you care?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. I would change what I would change.
Although if you like Dave Matthews Band, there's something wrong with it.
There is something wrong with it.
I was joking.
Yeah, I would give each NFL officiating crew a maximum number of flags they can throw in a game, so they have to use them wisely. So we need to get a scarcity of penalties in the NFL.
Okay.
And then we need to get digital, electronic-based strike zones. That's what we need.
What were some of the answers on this question? I'm curious.
Some good answers. This is sort of a poor representation of the state of sports right here, because Jerkface says that the worst thing in sports are ticket prices to see a game live. It's too much of a financial risk to shell out today's prices and risk the game being a dog. So he says going to a game live is too hard. Book for Prez says it's too hard to watch games on TV because unless you have 10 apps plus cable and satellite, you can't see everything.
There is that.
So when you combine everything...
it's hard to watch sports these days.
Yes. There's lots of good answers. Rob says professional golf has destroyed itself. NBA lost the basic fundamental rules on how to play the game. NHL, let's just say that's a local problem.
People saying analytics.
Analytics. People say that players don't try during the regular season as much. Lots of good answers here. We're out of time, but keep sending your answers. Follow us on Bickley_Murata, Bickley and Murata as well.
Thank you, Jared. Social studies every day at 9 o'clock. Coming up next, we continue Newsmakers Week, day one. We'll head to the track. President of Phoenix Raceway, Latasha Ci, joins us next here on Bickley and Murata Mornings, Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Burns and Gambo, afternoons.
What is the singular biggest question about the 2025 Arizona Diamondbacks?
Who's going to close games for them?
Okay, I have a second one. Go ahead, give me the second one.
Can Pavin Smith deliver
That's my first.
the way Jock Peterson did as a left-handed DH? I believe in Pavin Smith.
Okay.
But I think the Pavin thing is going to be fascinating.
Burns and Gambo, afternoons 2 till 6 on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
All right, so over the past 20 years, the accident attorneys at Sweet James have helped enough clients fill an entire sports arena. And here's another basketball analogy that proves why you call Sweet James if you're ever injured in an accident. So there are over 450 players in the NBA. They all play basketball. They're all good, but very few rise to stardom because very few win at that level that puts them in an elite category. It's exactly the same with personal injury firms in Arizona. There are a ton of them out there. They all say the same things. Sweet James, one of the very few firms elite in everything they do, especially when it comes to litigating. Their attorneys have extensive trial experience, which gives them uncommon and very important leverage when dealing with these insurance companies that are stacked up against you, that want to deny, that don't want to give you a nickel for your injuries. This is why Sweet James not only wins 98% of the time, they win big. They consistently deliver some of the largest settlements in Arizona. They're the firm you want in your corner in your time of need. 1-800-9-MILLION, 1-800-900-0000, sweetjames.com.
Celebrate President's Day with a brand new Chevrolet. All new trucks, SUVs, crossovers, and cars during the Valley Chevy Dealers President's Day sales event. Stop by your Valley Chevy dealers today to check out all the savings on the award-winning lineup.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hard-working folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. And if any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today at 480-990-3300.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader. Newsmakers Week with Bickley and Marotta Mornings.
Yeah, we continue day one of Newsmakers Week here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader, with a visit from the president of Phoenix Raceway, Latasha Ci, who joins us in studio this morning. Latasha, thanks for coming in. Good to see you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. Glad to be here.
It seems like, time, I'm old now, so time goes really, really fast. It seems like you just crowned a champion, the NASCAR champion in November. And here you are getting ready for another race in a few weeks.
We did.
Fun never ends.
It doesn't. It went really fast. I will tell you that break between November and March isn't really a break. That's for sure.
I was going to say, what is that process like? And I know there's a lot of tracks on the NASCAR circuit that have 2 races annually, but what's it like from your perspective?
Yeah, we started working on last March, but we really all hands on deck, right after a championship. We don't really per se get a break. A lot of people ask about the off season. There really isn't an off season. We definitely take a small break to enjoy the holidays, but then we're right back at it to really get prepared and be ready to go for our spring weekend.
All right, so 2025, you guys have 2 more races. You've got the one upcoming, and then you've got the championship again. There's a lot of rumors that they're going to start rotating this championship, so you might not have 2 races going forward. Does that add pressure for this year's championship, or is it just something they're going to do regardless of how you guys fare?
Yeah, honestly, we're really focused on 2025 and making sure that that's really great. And like you said, we don't know what 26 and beyond looks like, but what we do know is that we will have 2 races. So no matter what those 2 races are in Phoenix and what the circuit looks like, right? And so, but for us, we really want to make sure that we're ready to go for 25. So the pressure is always on, right? Whether we have a championship here or not, we want to make sure that our fans continue to come back with any race that we're having.
We're talking to Latasha Ci, the president of Phoenix Raceway, joins us in studio for Newsmakers Week. The Shriners Children's 500, March 7th through 9th. That's the weekend that's coming up. Yeah. When you talk about fans coming back to, I'm curious, did you guys have a demographic breakdown on how many people from the Phoenix area attend the race, or how many people from around the country?
Yeah, so usually for our spring weekend, it's more localized, if you will. We have about 60% of our fans that are local, and then 40% are still coming from all over the place. It's also spring training time frame, right? And you have a lot of people that are in town for that. And so we tend to cross over from our fan bases. They have a great partnership with the Cactus League and getting some of their fans out when they're not at baseball. They're enjoying racing for the weekend. So, yeah, about a 60-40 split over the spring weekend.
Kind of interesting to me, some of the changes in NASCAR this year, like the NBA, you guys are doing an in-season tournament, which is kind of interesting. Yep. You guys are going to debut on streaming with Amazon Prime Video. I think they've got 5 races.
Yes.
Your thoughts on the evolution of NASCAR into these areas?
Yeah, I think it's a great evolution. Because that when you stream into different spaces and places, then that opens us up to different audiences as well. And so for us, it's a great thing, right? It's a great opportunity as well for new partnerships, new sponsorships. There's so many things that come along with that. And I think with everything, it's very, very important to continue to expand and to continue to grow our fan bases. I say this often, NASCAR has one of the most loyal fan bases, and our fans are just fantastic, but why not include and add more to that mix? And I think that these platforms allow us that opportunity to do that.
Kind of related to that, I'm going back to late 90s, where there was the real surge. NASCAR really burst onto the scene, and I think that's been a steady place in the American sports landscape. But overall, the health of NASCAR in the year 2025. What would you say on that?
Yeah, I think that the health of NASCAR is still in a really great place. We're still thriving. I just mentioned I just got back from the Daytona 500, a sold-out race there. Fans absolutely everywhere for the entire week enjoying NASCAR. And truly, the vibe of that as I walked around the Daytona 500, people are just really excited that we're back and that the season is back in action. And so I think that our fans continuing to show up, NASCAR continuing to be relevant, Phoenix Raceway continue to be relevant, shows us that we are still continuing to thrive. And but I won't say that it continues to take work. We have to work for it. It's not just these races happen, these things happen. We really have to put our best foot forward and put our efforts forward to make sure that our fans are there.
Now, one of the great things about Daytona, not only does it actually kind of kick off the NASCAR season, but to me, the endings of the Daytona 500, it's chaos that you've never seen before, because every everybody wants to win that race so badly that they take crazy risks.
Yes.
So there's always pileups and there's all sorts of stuff like that.
Yep.
Denny Hamlin came out after the game or after the race and said, this is no longer about skill, it's about luck. I didn't know what his criticism, what he was getting at. Were you aware of what he was saying or what he was trying to say?
You know, I can never put words in Denny Hamlin's mouth, so I have no idea. We have to ask Denny directly,
Okay.
right, what he was saying. But you're not wrong. I do feel like the Daytona 500, truly, it's our season opener. It's exciting. You know, like you said, every driver wants to win the Daytona 500, right? And so I think that they are. I mean, it's always about skill, right? And so you have to be smart. You have to do safe things.
Right.
But it presents an opportunity for a whole lot of action at the Daytona 500. That's for sure. And to be honest, you never know who's going to come out on top, right? Which is what we saw this weekend.
Yep. Latasha Causey, the president of Phoenix Raceway, our guest for Newsmakers Week 2025 here on Arizona Sports. With the spring race coming up, Christopher Bell won that race last year. Tell us about how the field is shaping up for this year for fans that are interested.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, you know, as I said with the Daytona 500, we never know what's going to happen for this season. But what we do know is that Phoenix Raceway will be prepared, and we're really excited about one thing too, is our tire options. Right, we have 2 different tire options that the drivers will be able to leverage and use during our spring weekend, which we saw in Richmond last year. That provided some excitement on the track as well. Right, they have to be talk about skill. They have to be really strategic. You know, you have the softer tire, but it wears faster. You can go faster as well, or you have your other options. But at the end of the day, what this is going to do with our great partners with Goodyear, it's going to provide us the opportunity to know what's going to happen for championship. It's going to dictate what types of tires they have to use at the end of the season. So that for our fans, our true NASCAR fans, is something that's really, really exciting as well.
There was a time when, and I shared this with you off the air, when I was dispatched down to Daytona for the race a few different times, and there is nothing like that spectacle. I remember at that time, NASCAR had drivers like, you know, Tony Stewart, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Clint Boyer. They had this great group of Jimmy Johnson, a great group of personalities. What did NASCAR learn about attracting casual sports fans? How hard is it? Where do you guys have to go to get it? Your thoughts on that, growing the sport in the mainstream?
Yeah, growing the sport in the mainstream is you have to just think differently about how you get people there, right? You have to give people the opportunity and the chance to do that. Something that I do organically here at Phoenix Raceway. For me, I really invite people out who've never been. That's always the most exciting thing is, have you ever been to a race? And when they say no, I'm like, oh, it's going to be great. Because truly there isn't anything like a NASCAR experience, right? You know how it is. You know, it's great. It's exciting. The sounds are great. I mean, you feel the chill as soon as the race starts. And so for us, it's really just organically inviting people who've never been, but then you want them to come back, right? You have to get them to a space to where they want to come back, and then they bring guests as well.
You bring up the sound thing, and not to interrupt, Vinny, but it's somebody asked me a while back, do you think NASCAR would ever have an all-electric vehicle race? And I thought, no, not a chance. You need the roar. You need the smell of gasoline.
It wouldn't be NASCAR without it, right?
I don't know. Some of these EV muscle cars they're doing now, they have the artificial sounds they're building into the cars. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
The first time I was ever at Phoenix Raceway, went out to do a show early in the morning. But as we were wrapping up the show and there was qualifying going on, if you've never experienced this, it's unlike anything you'll ever experience. It's still ringing in my head.
Yes, I agree.
In a good way,
right? Yes, I agree with that. You know, truly, you know, at Phoenix Raceway, at NASCAR, there's something for everyone. If it's a family base that you want to bring your kids out and you want to do something, there's things for your kids. If it's something that you want to come and hang out with your friends, you could do that too. And so again, there isn't a box that says, hey, if you are this person, NASCAR is for you. No, if you are anyone, the experience is for you.
And we're like 3 weeks away from race weekend, March 7th through 9th, headlined by the NASCAR Cup Series Shriners Children's 500. Tickets available, correct?
Tickets are available at phoenixraceway.com. They are going quick, though, so please make sure you get your tickets. We want to see you there.
Yeah, and I'm on the site right now. There's travel packages. You can click the link for that, so they make it real easy for everybody.
Yes, camping.
Camping.
Don't forget about camping.
Can't forget about the
That was the other thing that blew me away.
Don't forget about camping. We even have glamping, so people have to look that up. It's a whole tent situation that's already set up for you. You really just bring your stuff, and it's glamping.
See, now that's a good option.
Yes,
Is that a new option this year?
No, we've had it for the last couple of years, but we really, I went this past year to really, I wanted to see, like, what is this all about? And I really spent some significant time in the glamping area, and it's actually really cool. Bedding is already there. I mean, it's a really good experience.
That's awesome.
Does that stand for glamorous camping?
Yes,
Yeah.
glamping.
Are you just catching
You
on to
figured
that,
that out by
Jared?
yourself, Jared?
That's my kind of camping.
Latasha, great to
Thank
see
you,
you. Thanks so
Latasha.
much for coming in, and best of luck with race weekend
Thank you
coming up.
so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Latasha Ci, president of Phoenix Raceway. Joining us as Newsmakers Week 2025 is underway here on Bickley and Murata Mornings, Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
The Cactus League is underway.
The 2-1 to Carroll. Swung on. That's a rocket shot out to right center field. That one's going to go all the way to the wall. He's going to head to second. He's not stopping there. Flying towards third. Then the Diamondbacks take the lead.
Spring training coverage presented by Estrella Jalisco and Window Depot. The home of the Arizona Diamondbacks, Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
And Bickley here, and if you're a homeowner in Arizona, chances are real good you've had a bad experience with a contractor, with a landscaper. Maybe they've charged you a fortune. Maybe they ghosted you when the work was done and something went wrong. Maybe they just quit showing up. Happens to all of us in the Valley, unfortunately. This is one area where my friends at Turf Monsters knocks it out of the park. They can build you anything you're looking for. They can build you the backyard of your dreams. Fire pits, barbecue pits, patios, pergolas. If you've always wanted a green, sparkling lawn, they're a leading installer of artificial turf in the Valley. It looks absolutely fantastic. If you're a golfer, they can build you a state-of-the-art putting green, all sorts of great stuff. But what I highly recommend, go to their website, check out their near 1,000 five-star reviews. You get a real clear picture of a company that believes in professionalism, staying on schedule, a company that truly believes in your happiness. Schedule your free estimate online at turfmonstersaz.com or just give them a call. Tell them I sent you. 623-323-3900 for Turf Monsters.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair?
What do you mean? Does it not look good?
It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I figured I'd give hair volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going?
I'm gonna pick up some hair volume right now. My reunion's next month and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or your local CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at newnordicusa.com or CVS.
As a business owner, you wear a lot of hats. One minute you're ordering today's inventory, and the next you're planning tomorrow's expansion. It's complicated, but your business credit card should be simple. With the Signify Business Cash Card by Wells Fargo, you earn unlimited 2% cash rewards on purchases for your business with no caps or categories to track. Signify Business Cash, the deliberately simple business credit card. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/signify. Terms apply.
Why do 80% of NFL players have a Sleep Number smart bed?
Matthew Stafford here with the LA Rams. Because when I get high quality sleep, I make high quality plays. But that's not the only reason.
Hi, me, Kelly Stafford. I'm the other reason. He likes his side firm and cool, and I like my side soft, warm, and cozy.
Sleep Number does that and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side, your Sleep Number setting.
You're the #1 reason, by the way.
And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. Exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com. Official sleep and wellness partner of the NFL.
Golf Galaxy Performance Center is now open at Ahwatukee Foothills Town Center. Visit your new #1 golf destination to try the latest clubs from Callaway, TaylorMade, Titleist, and Ping. Explore new styles from brands like Travis Matthew, Bad Birdie, and Walter Hagen. Dial in your game with our expert services, including lessons, club repair, and more. Plus, earn points with every purchase when you sign up for Scorecard. Learn more at golfgalaxy.com/Phoenix.
Born in the birthplace of tequila, Estrella Jalisco is the golden Mexican Pilsner with roots in Jalisco, Mexico since 1910. The finest ingredients are always used to deliver a smooth and flavorful taste with a crisp finish that leaves you refreshed. We're proud to bring you this authentic and delicious Mexican beer, perfect for pairing with food and enjoying with friends. Estrella Jalisco, official cerveza partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
I'm Fred Khalil with Trending Now, presented by Parker & Sons. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. ASU's frustrating basketball season continues tonight at home. The Devils host the 21-4 Houston Cougars in a Big 12 matchup. The Cougs, under Kelvin Sampson, play smothering defense. They turn that into a fast pace. ASU is 12-13 overall, 3-11 in the Big 12. Tip-off is 7 o'clock. You can hear Tim Healy on the call right here on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app. Meantime, Arizona took care of Baylor 74-67. The Wildcats are now 18-8, 12-3 in the Big 12. Tobe Awaka led U of A with 14. 4 Wildcats finished in double figures. U of A plays BYU on Saturday. And the Diamondbacks locked up another member of their core roster Monday, agreeing to a 4-year, $45 million contract extension with shortstop Geraldo Perdomo Monday. This buys out Perdomo's next 2 arbitration years, includes a $5 million signing bonus, and a club option for a 5th year. It kicks in next season. And here's something I think is really good for baseball fans. The Diamondbacks are hoping to have some games broadcast on over-the-air television, free TV. It's a growing trend around the nation, and the D-backs want to capitalize. All right, well, this report is brought to you by YRefi. Don't let student debt ruin your life. Go to YRefi.com. That's RYEFY.com.
Hey, it's Wolf. The NBA debuted its new All-Star Game format over the weekend. We will be reacting to the new mini tournament at 10 a.m. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports.
They are a disaster. They are the second biggest disappointment outside of the Philadelphia 76ers. I'm telling you, they can't play dead in a Western movie. When it comes down to having KD, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal, this team has underachieved like no other. They thought they filled some of the voids with the offseason additions, but that still ain't cut the mustard.
That is Kendrick Perkins holding his tongue, obviously, on how he feels about the Phoenix Suns. Called them a disaster, second biggest disappointment in the league behind Philadelphia.
He really went after
Devin Booker.
Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Any relation to Reuben Froster?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Reuben Froster. I referenced this piece that's on The Athletic, and it was the midseason grades for every NBA team, Bick.
Mm-hmm.
And they tasked NBA writers, either local or national NBA writers, to give grades for the teams. There were 4 teams that received D grades. Those teams were Dallas, New Orleans, Philadelphia, and Chicago. There was 1 team that received an F.
Uh-oh.
And it was the Phoenix Suns.
Uh-oh. So, look, and I think there's a lot of people taking delight in it. I think there's a lot of people who want to rub Matt Ishbia's nose in this because of how brash he's been, not just with his money but with his words, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I think there's you get this all the time. There's the comeuppance factor from teams that take offense to overly aggressive newcomers.
Yeah, it seems like the NBA. A lot of newcomers tend to ruffle feathers. I mean, Mark Cuban was a feather ruffler when he came into the league.
Very much so.
But I wonder too, and kind of, tossed this around last week on the show. I wonder how much of a motivating factor that is for the Suns players.
Mm-hmm.
For Kevin Durant, who just won over 30,000 points in his career. He's one of 8 players to do that. Devin Booker's a 4-time All-Star. Bradley Beal's a proud player. He's had a lot of success in this league. He averaged 30 points a game in back-to-back seasons. Not a lot of guys can make that claim. I wonder how much, if at all, the threat of being one of the most disappointing teams in recent NBA memory drives them in the second half of the season. And we had a lot of fun with the Draymond Green comments, and we both like the fact that Draymond Green is being that brash. Now, I don't believe that the Golden State Warriors are going to win a title, but what would we be talking about right now and not even to go that far. When Draymond Green says we're going to win a title, you go, okay, maybe it's a possibility. This is a team that has 4 recent championships and a lot of that culture still left.
Mm-hmm.
But what if Kevin Durant came out at the All-Star break and said, we're going to put this together in the second half? We don't really hear anything like that. And I wonder if that just is more of an indication of the lack of belief on what they have and don't have.
Listen, I think you're kind of delving into an area here of that bothers a lot of Suns fans, and that is where is the verbal resistance in Phoenix? Where is the athlete to stand up and say, we have got to stop this right now? This is not acceptable. This is not who we are. You don't get any of it. And so as a result, fair or otherwise, people are led to believe that the leaders of this team feel buffered from the failure. How's this on me? You see my numbers? That kind of thing. And to what degree it's true, I don't know. But I do think that is something that Suns fans would like to hear. But I also think what you're hitting on is maybe they know if we came out and said it, it would be a lie. Maybe they know
that.
Yeah.
But Kevin Durant also came out, after all the smoke cleared from the trade deadline rumors that, his name was all over them. He nixed the trade, didn't want to go back to Golden State, but did say, look, I want it to work out here. I don't want to see this through. But I wonder now how much his involvement in trade rumors has affected his mindset on that. See it through to the end of the year and play good basketball individually for a team that's going to win 40 games maybe, or see it through for the future. Because most of the national reporting and reading the writing on the wall would indicate that Kevin Durant is likely going to be traded.
Yeah.
And will be the biggest name traded in the offseason.
Right. And I think it's been assumed as an inevitability because this team has not shown the ability to go anywhere. And running it back a third time would be just beyond insanity. So yes, and if you want to keep Devin Booker and everybody in Phoenix does, then that's the only move to make. So I hope that the season ends with Kevin Durant in really good shape and in good health. And I really hope the Suns are able to maximize whatever they get for him to return. I hope the Houston Rockets come out of the playoffs and go, we really need him. And I hope there's another team that really, really wants him, like Orlando. And I hope that KD is open to being traded to a number of different places as to not limit the market, because he will have a say in this. And that to me is with all due respect to the athletic process and the games left on their schedule, this is the next really important thing for this organization to do. Yeah. They have got to ace the trade of Kevin Durant.
That's funny because I was thinking about, there's still 30 games, whatever, 28 games left of the season.
Uh-huh.
I was like, well, is there any part of you that's like, well, if they put it together and have a really strong finish to the season and, surge into the playoffs, like it wouldn't be the worst thing if they tried another year.
But what would lead you to believe they're capable of that?
Right. I thought that for a second, then I thought, well, why would I even pose that question? Because we have a year and a half of proof that that's just not going to happen. Like the idea of is there anything salvageable about this unit that doesn't even seem possible, right?
Well,
if
you
already
look at the recent
resigned
stretch
looking
of
in the
games,
offseason.
again, I don't know why you would think that they'd be able to kind of stack together wins, especially against a tougher schedule. Look, and I understand the need for optimism. It's the lifeblood of any sports fan, but at the same time, we've been hanging on to these threads of hope for 2+ years now.
And that's the thing is putting them in the mindset, because trading them to the Rockets, it's not going to make them better next year, do you think, right? Or would a change in the makeup of the team do something?
That's what I think you're counting on. And maybe it's a draft pick that gets mixed in there that you can find lightning in a bottle. Going back to the Houston thing, we had discussed that when the trade rumors were hot and heavy. And the thinking has been, at least reported from the Houston standpoint, hey, they really want Kevin Durant. And then it was like, hey, they really want Devin Booker. Devin Booker's not going anywhere. But the last time we saw the Houston Rockets play the Phoenix Suns, didn't they look like a team that could use a player of Kevin Durant's ilk right now?
Without a doubt. Without a doubt. They offensively, they have digressed to the point where they look barely above good to me. They don't really look all that dangerous anymore.
And that was a team with that young core last year that was in position to make a playoff push, and they folded completely down the stretch. Remember, it was them and Golden State for that last spot.
I do.
And Golden State didn't even have to break a sweat to get that spot.
So I look at that. Then you also have to look, Jared, at what these other teams are going to look like. You hear Draymond Green and the optimism. Then now you got to keep in mind, what are the Lakers going to look like? I continue to think the Spurs are in a position to kind of make a real good run at this. I don't know if they're going to get there because they're so many games under 500. But there's just a lot of teams moving up in the West, and the Suns aren't one of them. And if they would really have to dig, I would love for them to just have a players-only meeting and dig as deep as they can get and air every grievance and then come out with their hair on fire 1 through 11. But come on, I mean,
that I guess maybe that's the frustrating part too. Is here they are hovering around 500 at this point of the season, and we're asking the question: where is the outward desire? Where is the demonstrative behavior that, hey, this is not acceptable? But also on the flip side of that, this team doesn't conduct itself like they hate each other either.
No, they don't. You're right.
Yeah, they're just like in this middle ground where it's, I guess, indicative of a 500 basketball team. Some days are good, some days are bad.
And some days are bad.
Yeah. We'll have some final thoughts on day one of Newsmakers Week 2025 to close out the Tuesday edition of Bickley and Murata Mornings here on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Here are the top 3 headlines on ArizonaSports.com, brought to you by Y Refi. I'm Tyler Drake. Geraldo Perdomo and the Diamondbacks agree to a 4-year contract extension. The Diamondbacks provide updates on the Chase Field bill and roof, and how the West is trending ahead of the Suns' brutal battle for a postseason spot. Those are the top 3 headlines on ArizonaSports.com, brought to you by Y Refi.
Hey everybody, Dan Bickley here with a real-life story of why you call Parker & Sons for all your heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical needs. And when I mean real-life story, I'm talking about my real life. So late last week, while I was asleep, my son busts into my bedroom. Hey, Dad, the toilet downstairs is leaking. There's water everywhere. And sure enough, I had a small leak in my bathroom. I had a plumbing emergency, but I had to get to work, so I took off. I called Parker & Sons at 4:30 in the morning, and a real person answered the phone. Do you know how rare that is? And by the time I got home from radio that day, they had already been to my home and fixed my issue. That to me was beyond impressive, but that's what Parker & Sons does. They'll come to your rescue in minutes in your time of need. Parker & Sons been serving the Valley for 50 years. They're reputable, highly decorated, fast and reliable. They're trustworthy and credible. They've got an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, the most awarded business in Arizona, and after last week, I can see why better than ever. This is who you call when you need them the most. 602-2-REPAIR. That's 602, the number 2, then REPAIR for Parker & Sons.
Homeowners, while many agents are making very big promises, Carol Royce with your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty is famous for her written guarantees. Now, unlike some agents who promise a very unrealistic price just to get your business, Carol's going to provide you an upfront written guarantee to sell your home for 100% of market value. Or Carol's going to pay you the difference. So if you're ready to sell your home in 2025, sell with confidence and for full market value, call Carol Royce today or visit carolhasthebuyers.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, basketball fans, Tom Chambers here reminding you that just like in a game, you need a solid defense for your home. And that starts with a reliable roof from Right Way Roofing. Hey, Lori, as owner of Right Way Roofing, what sets you apart from the competition?
Our team tackles any roofing challenge, from shingles to tile to foam roofing. We'll make sure your roof wins against the toughest opponents: rain, wind, and even those scorching summer days.
Make Right Way Roofing your MVP.
We're Right Way Roofing and we do it right. We'll always keep you watertight.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now save 50% on the new Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Limited time. exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Hey folks, we're here for Earnhardt Buick GMC in Mesa. Our buddy General Manager Brad Gunlickson and his entire team are rolling out huge President's Day deals all month long, like low 0.9% APR financing on 2025 GMC Sierra 1500 Turbo Max and terrain SUVs. Want to go lower? They can do that. Drive out an all-electric 2025 GMC Hummer SUV at 0% APR for 60 months. All offers require approved credit and end soon. So hurry in to Earnhardt Buick GMC or find it all online at EarnhardtBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade and that ain't no bull.
Most new vehicles include a $998 no-bull protection package as an added benefit. Offer includes all applicable incentives on select models. APR terms is limited through GM Financial. 0% for 60 months is $16.67 per month for 1,000 finance. Based on approved credit. Not all will qualify, plus tax, title, license, and $599 doc fee. See dealer for details. Offer ends 3/3/25.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Bickley and Murata. Song of the Day. Brought to you by Sonic. Live free, eat Sonic.
All right, in honor of NASCAR season, Daytona 500 in the books, it means it's racing season, y'all.
This is the first.
You know what they say? It ain't racing if it's not, they're not rubbing. What's that old saying?
Rubbing is racing. I think that's what the Robert Duvall line from
That's what it is.
Days of Thunder was.
That's what it is.
No, he's rubbing, son, and rubbing is racing. You know what they say? If you're not first, you're last.
That's right. You're last.
Jarrett, this strikes me as a song that was probably big on the Jarrett Carlin
All Alone
playlist.
All Alone.
You loved this band,
was a
probably,
hip.
right?
I like this. Well, I like this song. I like what is it? Long Jacket or something?
Short skirt, long jacket.
Short skirt, long jacket.
Yeah.
They had some cool songs.
It's a band I never saw live. Was on my way to a concert. They were playing at Celebrity Theater. I was married at the time. Got into a huge argument with the wife, and we never went in. We just went home.
Oh, no.
Wow. That's some argument.
It was a weird concert time. It was like a really late start time, too.
Yeah.
I don't remember everything that went into that.
Oh, boy.
I'll bring it up.
What were you fighting about?
Something important, I'm sure. The Distance by Cake. Today's song of the day.
Bickley and Murata going off the grid. Brought to you by Sweet James Accident Attorneys. If you've been hurt in an accident, call Sweet James at 800-500-5200 or sweetjames.com.
Off to a roaring start of Newsmakers Week 2025. 6 guests in total. Covered a lot of Diamondbacks ground, from the field manager, Tory Lovullo, to the general manager, Mike Hazen, to the CEO, Derrick Hall. Some ASU talk with Graham Rossini, Bobby Hurley, and some NASCAR talk with Latasha Ci from Phoenix Raceway. Where do you want to start on terms of
I don't know. I think
takeaways?
I think didn't think I was going to say this, but I think our 2 ASU guests were very interesting. I think Graham talking about Desert Financial Arena and bringing some renovations to that, and then Bobby Hurley talking about his relationship to his actions versus the combustibility of his players. There have been 4 ejections recently. Yep. As you said, I agree with you. B.J. Freeman, that one against Colorado was kind of
happenstance.
Yeah, kind of happenstance. But the other 3 are completely avoidable. And it's not the greatest look in your first year in the conference, right?
No.
Because now word's out that team's got attitude problems. That team has got behavioral issues, Vinny.
But I give you a lot of credit for asking the question of Bobby Hurley about. At the heart of it, for a lot of people, it's the sideline demeanor of Bobby Hurley, and it's permeated throughout the team now. So to hear him talk about his viewpoint on it, and that he thinks he's been much better later in the season than he was. I mean,
He said he made a conscious effort in the last 5 or 6 games.
We have Bobby on every week, and we've had him on for years. I like Bobby a lot.
So do I.
He's a maniac on the sidelines.
Yeah, we all have eyes. We all see the same thing.
And I think that's easy fodder for a lot of people to say, oh, it's a reflection of the head coach.
And he's still only the second craziest head coach in his family.
That is true. And we didn't get to see a lot of St. Anthony games.
I was going to say, maybe
Dad. He seemed level-headed when we had him on all those years ago. But,
yeah.
I do believe that what we are seeing, and it's not. I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it's acceptable behavior for all these ejections to be happening. But this is about as frustrated as a basketball team can be.
Yeah.
Because you go back, they've been in every single game since the Kansas game, and that's a game they were winning at halftime, and they got blown out in the second half. What happened to them at Texas Tech? And Bobby talked about some of the not being able to get a rebound. They even went very close to fumbling that game away in the first overtime.
Yep.
And the block shot that B.J. Freeman had to preserve that game and send it to double overtime.
It was sensational.
You're thinking, if there's ever going to be something that's going to turn the tide, it's going to be that.
Yeah.
And
if
they
anything's
still
good,
lost in double overtime.
Still lost that game. The game, as we've talked about as well, the game when Jaden Quaintance missed a couple of free throws at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Not his fault. He's not a great free throw shooter, and he put a couple good efforts on it, but everybody thought he was going to dunk that ball and ASU was going to get a walk-off victory. He found himself too far under the basket. It's all these little things. Again, you've got 11 losses in the Big 12, and 8 of them have come down to the final few minutes.
Then on the Diamondbacks front, Tory Lovullo, in case you missed it, accused me of faking an illness to miss the first day of spring.
I don't think he was accused you of faking it. I think he accused you of not being tough enough to show up.
No, he said faking an illness right at the beginning of the conversation. Tory had some great things to say.
It's nothing he didn't already say behind your back.
That's true.
Well, I respect him for saying it in front of my
in front of your back, in front of your face.
Mike Hazen. I love talking to Mike Hazen. You want to talk about a straight shooter?
Exactly the phrase I was going to use.
He has never, ever, for all that they accomplished, the biggest free agent signing of the offseason, probably, in Corbin Burns.
Other than Juan Soto.
Yeah, biggest pitching free agent. But you never get the feeling of overconfidence or comfort from Mike Hazen.
Said they accomplished some of their goals.
Yeah.
Wasn't the perfect offseason.
Look, and that lack of comfort should be very comforting to Diamondbacks fans, because it's what they have is never enough, and that's the new mentality of this franchise, and I'm way for it. Even though they play with the 800-pound blue and white elephant.
I really honestly believe we are lucky to have him. I think he could write his ticket to any baseball club in the game, and they would hire him. And he's just one of the best at his job. And what makes him the best at his job is that he's got that Boston fatalism in him, where he just will not get happy about anything.
Yeah.
He just no, because I'm not that good, and because I've failed and I can't fail again. And I love his demeanor.
And
I love
very
everything
forthright
about
you never know what's going to happen in your bullpen. You think you know, you don't know.
You don't know. What he and Torey have, and Derrick as well,
the
it's
triangle
very, very
there
special.
is really
it's
strong.
very, very special. To be together for a decade without a championship. Tory Lovullo is in year 9. His record is below 500. It is a power to sticking with people are high-quality people, even if you're not getting immediate results.
And then the last thing we took away from today, we learned about glamping from Latasha Ci.
No, Jarrett learned about glamping. How did you not know that was a thing?
Why did you know so much about it? How about that?
Thanks to Torey Lovullo, Mike Hazen, Graham Rossini, Derrick Hall, Bobby Hurley, Latasha Causey. Thanks for hanging out. You can catch all those interviews after the show on ArizonaSports.com, presented by Y-Refi. Wolf and Luke are up next.
You can't use the old excuse about not having enough storage, because we know you've got the cloud. Download the Arizona Sports app and keep it on your home screen for breaking sports news, all the Arizona sports shows and podcasts. Plus, listen to the Suns, D-backs, ASU Athletics, and more.